Welcome to another episode of the Comic Cinema Crew. We are here to talk about the MCU, our favorite genre to talk about, comic book films. And we are today ranking all 27 MCU films. There's not a MCU or Marvel movie coming out for a little while now, so we figure a good time to fill the space in and a good time to rank all of our movies. So I'm here with a great panel today to talk about this. Everybody's been ready. Everybody's prepared, I'm sure. I want to, introduce everybody. What's going on, Maine?
What's going on, everybody? How you doing?
All right, Dave, of course.
Yo. It's good.
Long-winded Dave, of course.
Already? Come on, he's just saying hello.
Not getting an extra week.
Hey, what's up, guys? I hope you're all having a good day.
All right, what's going on, guy Josh?
Hey, what's up, everybody? Peace.
What up?
All right, so what we're going to do is we're going to rank these movies 1 through 27, as I said. We're going to go backwards from 27 down to 1. From 27 to 10, we'll just just name the movies, so the show's not too long. And then from 10 to 1, we'll discuss the reason why we put each movie in that slot. So since it's 27, we'll start with 7 down to 20. So that means you stop at 20 at the time.
7 to 20, okay.
7 to 20. So who wants to start first?
Ooh,
I can go first.
All right, Josh.
Because my from 27 to 20, I would say left me I'm not gonna say disappointed, just like whatever. Like I watched it because Marvel, because not everyone knows I'm a big DC guy. So Marvel had to earn my attention for me to take them seriously, because obviously we've been taking I've been waiting for something profound since Dark Knight, personally, for me. So when I saw Iron Man, I didn't see it in theaters, but I saw the original Iron Man, and I was just like, okay. And I saw the other films and other films. So by the time that Black Panther and Infinity War came out, I was all the way in. But before that, we have things like Ant-Man. That's 27. I feel like he's redundant. 26. Wow. I have Black Widow again. Another reason probably why Scarlett Johansson is suing y'all. Y'all gave her the film in that time and you put it in that order. It makes no sense. Incredible Hulk. You changed the Hulk. 24, Captain Marvel. 23, Thor: The Dark World. 22, Ant-Man and the Wasp. I'm sure you guys see a theme here. 21, Iron Man 2, and 20 is Eternals.
Man, first off, dog.
Hold on. Before you go into that, we gotta before I knew what was happening here, got somebody who popped up on y'all. Your favorite guy and mine, the cowboy himself.
Hey. Yes, what? So
he's a cowboy.
I was able to pull some strings, baby. I'm here. I did my work. I got my list, baby. Let's go.
Nice. What's going on, Ant?
What's up, Dave? Hey, Dave, man. I just want to say you're my entertainment all week, brother. Love you, man.
Yeah. You've been the fucking bane of my existence for this.
I think we're gonna make Chris have an aneurysm.
Yeah, Chris just blocked the notifications, I think. That's right.
What's that?
You just blocked the notes on the chat room, right? Block the notifications.
I just got fire burning.
Yeah, guys, this is just some behind the scenes stuff. Me and Dave, we got our little debates we do all week, driving each other crazy. I think we drive Chris more crazy than each other, but guys.
All right.
Look, it's good to see Maine on here. My guy Josh on here. Oh man, I'm just happy. Big Mike, you doing the thing as usual, and I'm just happy that I could join you guys. I was able to pull some strings, like I said, I'm ready.
I saw your sledding video, bro.
That was cool, man.
My man sledding.
Cool. It's tubing. We was tubing.
Yeah, so I'm happy to have you on as well, man. Listen, so I don't know if you heard or not, but we're going 27 to 1, and we're going to start with 27 down to 20. And then move on from there. Josh already gave his 27 down to 20.
Oh, wow.
And like Maine was doing before you came on, if anybody want to refute something, go right ahead. That's what the show is about. So,
actually, no, I was going to actually say that. I said, how dare you copy my list? Because damn near it's the same order. Real
Yeah,
shit.
there were a lot of those on mine too, man.
That's crazy.
All right. Well, that's the case. Why don't you go ahead and say your list then, man? 27 to 20.
So 27 to 20. I'm gonna have to say Incredible Hulk.
27?
Yeah, bro.
Okay.
That's about to kill you.
That's what I call. This is in the straight butt tier. Straight butt.
Hey, spoiler! Incredible Hulk's my 27th too. So.
Yeah, bro.
Oh, shit.
First of all, I have it's a deep seated thing about this one. I have a thing against Edward Norton, just me.
Yep.
That's just me. And the way that they treated Hulk, also that whole thing.
Yep.
So that's straight in the straight butt tier. That's number 27. 26 is got to be Captain Marvel. Here's why. Captain Marvel. Well, I'll go through that. We'll talk about that later. But Captain Marvel is 26. As much as I love them, and outside of comics, outside of the movies, I love them. The Eternals didn't really quite cut it for me.
Okay.
Black Widow, the same. Then we have this is gonna be a good one. The first Captain America. Then I have Dark World. And I think that's it. Yeah, that's 7, right? That was 7.
Wow.
Yeah,
You put Captain
Dark
America
World.
in that?
Here's the thing.
Wait,
man.
which one? The first one? The first Avenger?
The first one.
The first one.
Wow.
Yes.
Go ahead, man. Tell them why.
So the first one is I didn't really. I have a big thing for like set pieces, and I'm sorry, like when you go back in time to like the 30s and the 40s and all that, just me, I'd be like, damn, I feel like I'm watching a gameplay of Call of Duty 3, Call of Duty World at War. I
agree with that.
I don't.
Vanguard.
I'm not with that. I'm more of a futuristic, transhumanism. Give me that stuff, Ghost in the Shell type stuff. Give me some stuff in the future. I don't want stuff going backwards. I understand story wise, but when you link your whole movie is there, I'm like, oh, okay, there's got to be a better way, and that's just one of those things that I just don't really dig.
No, I've got.
But you didn't take into account that it's just his origin story, and that's they
origin
can't make a modern origin story.
I hear that, right? And I get that. I get the origin story of it, which is why it's actually, as far as my tier is, so the butt tier, the bottom butt tier is actually Hulk and Captain. Enjoyable but flawed is where you see Black Widow, Captain America, and Eternals, and then
that's cool.
So on and so forth. So that's why, yeah. So it was enjoyable, but flaws.
Yeah.
Yeah. But I get your point though. Yeah, that's my 7, I believe.
Okay, 27. Hey, since you came on today, Ant, why don't you go, man? 27 to 20.
Let's do it. Number 27 gotta be Far From Home, the trashiest villain ever. I just can't get over him being a regular dude with parlor tricks. That I just can't get over that. I don't care how cool it was just terrible. Number 26 is gonna be Ant-Man 2. Which was all right, but I was looking at stuff as far as how likely am I gonna watch it again. And Ant-Man 2 was all right, but like the first time I seen it, matter of fact, I didn't even see either Ant-Man's in the movies. That's how much it was just like, and it was actually good when I seen them, but somebody had to be down there. Number 25 is gonna be the other Ant-Man. They were good. They were really good, but somebody had to be down there. And I just don't think I'll ever watch either of them ever again. Number 24, don't kill me, but is Iron Man 3. It was all right. I just don't, whatever. He brought AIM into the universe. Number 23 is going to be Black Widow. It was decent, but the timing, it came out, she's not even live anymore. It just doesn't do anything, right? Number 22 is going to be Homecoming. Yeah, I don't know. I guess it was good when it first came out, but I don't know. I don't see me watching it again. I think the Vulture, Michael Keaton was cool, but it's not really a villain I'm too into. Don't kill me, people. So what? I'm not going to 20, right? I'm just doing 21, right?
20.
Yeah,
okay.
Do 20.
So,
yeah.
All right. So don't kill me, but number 21 is Black Panther. All right. The Tyler Perry of the MCU. You know, the Tyler Perry movie of the MCU. You know, this could have just been what was the movie, Tyler Perry movie, when they was out in the snow and whatnot? Up in the mountain. Was it Why Did I Get Married?
Yeah, it was, yeah.
He said, "Are we there?" All right, well, this could be part 3. And then Thor 2, the second Thor.
Okay.
It was all right, but
you had Thor 2 at 20?
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay.
Yep.
Huh.
Anybody got to go through his list anywhere before we move on?
Man.
Two Spider-Mans ended up at the bottom, yo. And
Yeah,
I already
right?
know
Like-
from what he said that he thinks that Spider-Man 3 is the #1 movie ever.
I
But
know.
Homecoming?
So the gap is crazy on that. But anyway,
Homecoming.
Yeah,
Yeah.
he put Homecoming down there. Yeah,
Guess what I say about Black Panther being down there?
and Black Panther just, I mean, at this point, I'm just like,
Gotta
whatever.
take care.
Okay,
Oh,
now I know what to expect from Anthony. It's just
No, listen,
if
Black
somebody's
Panther,
allowed
man.
to say it, he'll say it.
I'm just saying.
Yeah. Okay.
I know Chloe gonna try to strangle me for putting Black Panther down there, but
She just
Yeah,
spoke,
she's,
actually.
she's sitting right next to me, and she may not invite you back to the Avengers Tower. I don't know.
man, listen. I'm gonna say this. Don't kill me, but I don't have any here to put the Afro pick in, so Black Panther, couldn't get high on my list.
And she said he forgot about Shang Chi, basically a watered down version of Black Panther.
Oh, get her out of here.
Solitary.
Get
False
out of here.
cat clone.
Wait a minute.
That's
Let's be fair. Let's be fair, right? She's from a different demographic. Let's be
Oh,
fair.
right. That's right.
Right.
That's right. Okay.
All right.
Fair,
Sorry,
you know?
I apologize.
Chris, why don't you go, bro?
Woo! All right. This is going to be short and quick. 27, Incredible Hulk. I hated it.
That's what you
Iron Man 2 was kind of iffy, so that's my 26. Thor: The Dark World's 25. Black Widow's 24. Spider-Man Far From Home is 23 for me. I didn't really care for that movie like Ant.
Yeah.
Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 2 was kind of silly to me. Captain Marvel, and then Iron Man 3.
Oh, we had some of the same movies. Hey, can I rebuttal something real quick? Both of you losers, Chris and Maine, you put Incredible Hulk as last.
Yo, that was a bad.
Hell yeah.
Incredible Hulk movie.
That movie was straight doo-doo
Well,
nuggets.
so I
It was.
get both of you said you didn't like Edward Norton, but other than like Edward Norton, first of all, he's better than Mark Ruffalo.
Hold up, bro. You talk about the villain. The villain most of the movie was the military, bro.
Yeah, and
Bro, have you watched anything Incredible Hulk, a Saturday morning cartoon,
Yeah.
anything? That's how the
Yes.
Hulk plays out.
yeah,
Like,
So the
and-
strongest character in all of Marvel is constantly getting hampered by a regular ass human.
Bro,
Trucks and
if you
tanks.
watch the cartoons and stuff, he always went against the military, and then at the end he fights somebody, and they picked the best villain they could pick, the Abomination, match him in strength. Anyway, whatever. That's it's all
Hulk
good.
and Thor Ragnarok was
Listen.
Hulk in my
Listen.
opinion.
Yes, that was
This is my thing, and this
Nah,
is
he
this
was
is
too
gonna
silly.
be. I'm gonna go ahead and go into cowboy territory here and get even more controversial. As shitty as the movie was, I prefer the actor. I prefer Eric Bana as Hulk. That's to me.
Now
What,
you
bro?
really-
You
Here's
was
why.
tripping.
Now
me
you
explain
really
why.
argument.
Over
Bro,
Edward Norton.
I'm
Yeah.
tripping.
You
You
know,
put
fuck
Black
up, got me
Panther in
and
that
Ant
that bottom
on
tier.
same
You
team.
tripping.
Hold up, Maine, real quick. Hold up, Maine, real quick.
Okay, make it quick.
I know you've seen cartoons, video games. Yo, Eric Banner's like a damn model. You think he should be Bruce Banner? Bruce Banner's supposed to be a geeky nerd. Eric Banner, like, dude, he was in Troy.
So if that's the
fighting
case,
Brad
then
Pitt.
Edward Norton's knife-faced edge having ass shouldn't have been in that movie either. 'Cause he
No,
was
bro, he's like the
Nice
skinny
face.
white dude. He's like the skinny white dude.
But what I'm saying is that if that's the case, Mark Ruffalo fits the nerd look, if anything. If
Right.
you want to go
Nah.
there, if you want to go aesthetic.
Mark
Yeah,
Ruffalo is
I-
the best Hulk. Period. Let's
Yeah,
just
he's
get
perfect.
that out there, yo.
And he
Nah.
grew into that, but my whole thing
See,
is that's my thing. That's
No.
why Incredible Hulk also is in. I don't know, man. Yeah,
I
That's
can't
funny.
even
I
trust
kinda
you
think
because
he
you
grew
just
out of
said
it.
Eric Banner is the best one. I can't trust you now, yo.
Also, real quick on my list, like I went through it the first time, and I couldn't find a place to put Captain Marvel in too because I kind of liked it, but like at the same time, I think she's too OP. I mean, really, like, so I
Yeah,
had to
she's a
slide her
walking
in on a more of the higher point, but because I don't like DC. I don't like Superman. Because I don't like super overpowered villains. I like my villains to have, or my heroes to have flaws. You know what I mean? And deal with different stuff.
Oh, she had a flaw. She had a flaw. Thanos' left hand.
There you go.
Thanos' left hand.
I am very hyped for the new Batman, bro. I'm not gonna lie. I'm not a Batman fan at all, but I want to see the Batman. Honestly,
Yeah,
not for 2 hours and 55 minutes.
Yeah,
2 hours and 55 minutes. I'll see it in sections, bro.
It's the official running time. Yeah,
that's a show. That's a series.
It's gonna be so good.
2 hours and 55 minutes.
Anyway, yeah. So I'm done.
That's crazy, right? 2 hours 55 minutes. So, so my thoughts are not my list on the Hulk topic.
I still got to give my list too, yo.
I know. So I agree with Anthony. Main. I thought Eric Bana was. Eric Bana's like 6'3", 260. He's already big enough to be beating somebody up. He don't need to turn to the Hulk. You know what I'm saying? So that's the whole thing, right? So that really makes sense. His transformation. I don't agree with you, Dave. Yeah. I think that Edward Norton fits the Hulk perfect, like Bruce Banner, perfect.
Yeah, man.
And stuff like that. I
think you ever seen Bruce Banner in the comics? That's all I can say. He's not like Ed Norton is now. He was working at no factories, was doing none of that shit.
Not
He's
even that though.
True nerd,
just the way he did the role, and it captured the. Well, I'm getting to the movie part now, but I thought that just the way his paranoia about turning into the Hulk, you don't see that with Ruffalo in like the last 4 movies or whatever like that. So I think Edward Norton captured that more to me. So,
now, would you say that was more like the direction of the movie or the script? That was why you agree with that performance.
Well, I think first of
all, I don't think it matters.
I think Edward was a good actor. He's always been a good actor to me, something like that. So I don't really.
Yeah.
Just for Ant's credit too, I haven't seen Incredible Hulk in a long time either, so maybe my memory's a little. I will watch it again for your credit, and maybe my list will change.
I watched it in the last couple of years to kind of refresh my memory. It's not as bad as it was then. Now
it was never bad.
I did watch the trailer for all of these just to refresh my memory, and
that's cool.
Completely CG in Incredible Hulk. But that was the
it was 2008
time, right? But yeah, I mean, it just wasn't. I can't even look at his face. I don't like Edward Norton at all.
Well, I want to go down a Hulk rabbit hole. Dave, what you got, man? 27 to 20.
All right, this is gonna go pretty quick. Black Widow. I rated that at 6.5. Ended up at number 27. Just Thor: Dark World. Get at a 6.6.
All right, like mine.
Iron Man 3.
Yeah.
Sorry that was just a failed attempt at an Iron Man movie. That was also a 6.6, but I put that at 25. 24 comes in the Incredible Hulk at 6.8. Sorry, but when the main character doesn't know how to say a word, it kind of limits story and limits plot. 23, the first Thor. 22, Iron Man 2. Whiplash was fucking horrible as a villain. Number 21 is Ant-Man and the Wasp. Again, the villain sucked. The story was great. Action was dope, but the villain sucked. Captain Marvel at number 20. Just because it was like Maine said, it was more of like a period piece, going back, telling the story. And I hate when they go back and forth in time like that. Like, I hate that shit. So,
wait, which one you said?
Captain Marvel. That's Captain Marvel.
Oh yeah. They went back to the fucking 90s, not the 40s. Like it wasn't like far away.
Yeah, but even then, I got tired of the constant memories of her flashing back. I have to flash back and remember more. And
then man, he'd hate that Boba Fett.
Now we flash back and remember more. Like I hated that shit. One more thing I want to say regarding the Incredible Hulk movies. Hulk is my favorite character. Like in comic books, period. He's one of my favorite characters, if not my favorite character.
And he is my favorite character.
All right, but in movies, it's hard to make a Hulk movie, a true Hulk movie when he's screaming and because you need your main guy to talk shit or carry a script.
I want a World War Hulk movie.
You can't have your script where it's scream. Like that's just I don't know. It's just hard.
I always said this, and I told Josh know this too. The Hulk they have in the Avengers Assemble cartoon, that's the perfect Hulk to me because
it is. I agree.
He's not like just like Professor Hulk, but he's also not just screaming. He's like somewhere between.
I agree with
that.
He's
like be smashed.
Yeah, like Ragnarok. Absolutely.
Kind of like Ragnarok.
Yes.
Yeah. He's like playing video games.
That was the best version of
that show.
Like
that's the best version to me.
Yeah,
bro. If I ever see the Hulk playing video games, I'm done. Yeah.
Yo, Avengers Assemble is dope. I'm telling you.
Absolutely. Playing video
So
games.
you didn't like
Yeah.
Professor Hulk at all? And
I mean, I don't like. I thought it was cool to have him as Professor Hulk. It's just a shame they didn't make him actually have a Hulk moment. But I don't have a problem with Professor Hulk.
I agree with that. Okay.
Yeah, I get Professor Hulk. You know, I followed him in the I mean, it's Hulk being smart, which is it's a Hulk actually you having Bruce Banner's mind, which is cool, right? They're merged.
He is the one who brought everybody back.
Nah, that
It
ain't no
would have
Hulk
been
moment.
cool to see him go full savage, though. Yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you.
All right. Well, let me give my list here.
Wait. Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Go ahead. Go ahead.
Yeah. So I'm with I think you, Dave, number 27, Black Widow. Like, I just walked out of that movie like that was so bad to me. Like the CGI is I mean, it's horrible. She's a regular human.
I like
they make her a Mary Sue a lot. She's like crashing through train stations and walking out like, yeah, let's go. Like, what the fuck? Like, so that's a lot of that. I don't really like. And that third set piece falling down was so horrible. And Taskmaster. Dave would know that was trash.
Yeah.
Or whatever. So yeah.
That was a terrible villain.
Yeah, terrible.
Whackmaster.
Right. Yeah. So many reasons, like we all already discussed. The next one I'm gonna go with is Thor. No, Thor: The Dark World is gonna be 26. I didn't like the Dark Elves. I thought they were trash. They were like very one tone.
Did Christopher Eccleston say he regretted doing that movie?
I had to watch that movie twice just to figure out what the fuck was going on.
I thought that it was funny that you said one tone, seeing as how Malekith had two sides. That was good. That was good.
Yeah, I didn't really like the Dark Elves and that story. It was a lot just bad with the Dark World. Number 26. I'm going with Iron Man 3. Like Dave, that was a bad Iron. That wasn't.
No, that you would be on 25,
match, Mike.
You would be on 25.
I'm sorry, 25. You're right. 25
Yeah.
Iron Man 3.
Okay.
Yeah, we matched. Because first of all, Jon Favreau did Iron Man 1 and 2. Now, I don't know who the hell did Iron Man 3, but it wasn't Jon Favreau. And whoever did it, like, I don't know what tone they
Shane Black did Iron Man 3.
Yeah, he ain't did nothing else, right? Since like Shane Black.
Shane Black's a Christmas movie guy. That's all.
Yeah,
you need a Christmas movie, call Shane Black.
Yeah, so he ruined the Iron Man trilogy for me at that point. Number 24, thanks, Anthony. I'm gonna go with Captain Marvel. Actually, Captain Marvel. I mean, I like going back in time. You know, as far as like seeing, like I love seeing a blockbuster. I think because that's my generation and things like that.
Yeah,
and things from the '90s and stuff like that. However, I don't know. It just like it was a lackluster film altogether. They wasted some really good actors in that movie, especially who was the villain? What is his name? Jude Law. They wasted Jude Law. Like, come on, man. Really
Jan Rog. Yo, what the fuck?
Yeah, like come on, man. I hate when great actors are wasted. That bothers me so much. Then after that, what am I on 23? I will put Incredible Hulk there for many reasons we all discussed at the time. But I think it was just before its time. I think like Iron Man 3 and Incredible Hulk, if it was done today as opposed to when they were done, especially Incredible Hulk, I think it would be a better movie and stuff. So then at 22, I'm gonna go with I'm with Anthony and Far From Home, man. Like I just I don't like Spider-Man in London. Like that don't work for me. I'm so sorry.
This is crazy how our lists are almost kind of similar.
I like Spider-Man in New York with the New Yorkers. You know,
you don't like the Spider-Man with a passport.
I just don't like that.
Spider Visa.
I think New
Travel
York.
Ban. Sorry, Spider-Man. You got the virus.
I think for Spider-Man, particularly, and a few other people in Marvel, but Spider-Man New York is a character in itself. Right. True. In his movie. So I feel like I need that to happen for me. Number 21, I'm going with Ant-Man and the Wasp for reasons you all said. Ghost was horrible. She didn't have like she was horrible, put it like that.
And Sonny Burch. And Sonny Burch.
Yeah, and Sonny Burch. And then wait till Lawrence Fishburne, another good actor. So that pissed me off as well. And then number 20 is just Thor. Thor only got above Ant-Man and the Wasp because of Loki. And I like Loki, but Thor itself was too much like a damn Romeo and Juliet, old fucking, it just was. Like,
I can see that.
Yeah,
that was when Marvel was still finding their footing, though.
Exactly. That's why I made the point. I feel like some of those movies they're done today. mind you, the deal with Disney had just happened when Thor was made. So I think right now it'll be a whole different movie and stuff
Oh,
like
yeah,
that. I think
for
some
sure.
of those will be different. But at the same time, I'll talk about this later on. I'll wait till I get to later on. So that's mine. Let's keep moving on.
That's all big facts, and I just have to say to all of y'all, I agree. Like even though it might be in different orders, and some may not be in that area. Like I would put these in the category because you guys know I travel a lot. These are movies I would watch on the plane. I'm not going to go see them in the theater, type of thing.
Yeah,
and I also wanted to chime in on real quick on Captain Marvel. It's not so much like I understood like the whole '90s reference. I'm also grew up in the '90s too, so I love that. I just felt like you. It was an empty movie in a way. Like just the way that they presented Captain Marvel. She flew around a lot. This stuff happened. She popped in. She hit stuff. She flew out again. And it just felt like it was a lot of that going on. But I understand the '90s references and all that stuff. And that was fine. It's just that like it wasn't so much the traveling back and forth or going back in time in that part. It was just the movie was just. It was.
I think
I do give it credit though for the introduction of the Skrulls. I give it credit for that.
Okay,
yeah,
that's fair.
I think to Chris's point, she could be too OP, sometimes. And I feel like sometimes it's hard to do characters who are that powerful.
Yeah,
you got to figure out a way to nerf them, like they did with Vision and Infinity War and stuff, or even
at least come up with a villain that can match them,
or even Doctor Strange in No Way Home to an extent.
Like,
so it's like that's what they got to do. Figure out a villain that can always match them. So,
but I think in her contract, I mean, the way Brie Larson has it written is, I got to be the most powerful woman. Period. Like
woke shit. You heard?
Yeah.
And Close said, I like Captain Marvel. Definitely big on '90s references. So,
cool. Y'all remember Avengers Endgame, International Women's Day movement.
All right, here we go.
Thank you. Exactly. The MCU, absolutely.
We'll get to that later on, I'm sure. Why don't we keep the same order so everybody's not talking for a long time? So, Josh, why don't you go with your 19 down to 11 right now?
Okay, 19. I have Shang Chi and the Legend of the Ten Rings.
What?
18. I have Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 2. 17. I have Captain America: The First Avenger. 16. I have Spider-Man: Homecoming. And what are we going to, Mike?
You know what? Would you
11? Go to 11.
Hold on. 19, 18, 17.
Yeah, that works. 11.
That works because then we
get
10 out of the way.
Okay, I just wanted to clarify.
Yeah.
Yep. 16 Spider-Man Homecoming, 15 Iron Man 3, 14 Spider-Man Far From Home, 13 Guardians of the Galaxy, 12 Spider-Man No Way Home, 11 Doctor Strange.
Wait. Guardians of the Galaxy is sub 10?
For me, yes. It was too corny.
Yo,
That's,
Chris,
that's not
I'm
my
with you,
demographic.
yo. I'm with you, yo. I'm like, okay, well.
It's almost like he has Shang.
I mean, I respect
Shang-Chi
your
at
opinion.
19.
Don't get me wrong. I'm just shocked.
Yeah. Nah,
I
this is
mean,
all
that's
to you.
fair, but
Guardians blew me the fuck away.
Me too.
I don't know.
It's
Me
a
too.
solid movie. That's why it's in the top 15, but it's not cracking the top 10.
See,
Right.
I can't wait to hear your top 10.
11
This is
through
crazy.
19 to be mediocre-ish type, you know what I mean? And then anything 20 and below was just garbage to me. But top 10 are like,
Well, we're dealing with Marvel, though. There's one thing everybody here is like listening, and everybody on the panel should understand is that Marvel doesn't make a lot of garbage. Even their 25th movie on this list
was hard
is
to
still
do this.
rewatchable. Like, so.
Well,
yeah,
I would say not all
like,
of them, not
I think it's
27
kind of like
to,
good
to
grace.
25.
Yeah, I
probably
agree.
not.
I agree
some of
with
them
Josh.
were bad.
You know what? I like the 27 to 20. Josh talked about the plane. For me, that would be movies that like if I turn the TV and they were on, I might stay and watch it, but I won't look for them. But how I look at it.
Yeah, you know what? So that's why I was looking at my list as far as what would I rewatch. That helps me, right? So if we get into plot, we get into all this and that. What bottom basement just make me say, okay, you know what? Would I watch this again? So that's why I like to use that a lot. But she said she fell asleep. Shang-Chi. But yeah, that's a good point though, Josh.
I wish I had more hands so I could give those cities 4 thumbs down. Those cities 4 thumbs down.
That's awesome.
All right, so man, you up next, bro. 19 to 11, bro.
All right, so we're gonna do coming up. Number 19 is gonna be Thor. Just like we talked about it was in that early stage, and I just really it was cool. I love Thor. Thor's a dope character.
Yeah.
But just getting into that groundwork and all that stuff, the whole Jane Foster thing, It was cool, but I was just like, okay, it's all right. But all right, moving on. So after that was Ant-Man and the Wasp. I also thought that was it was cool. It was very good, but it still had a lot of issues to me that I just didn't mess with. As far as like the way that they handle some of the characters and some in there, and we talked about Ghost and everything like that, and all those things that everybody talked about. I agree with those sentiments as well. Guardians of the Galaxy #1 also, because it was a big ass stick of corn, and I wasn't. We'll get into my favorite.
You call yourself a Star Wars fan and you don't like Guardians of the Galaxy.
Here's why. Right? Different folks, different strokes for different folks. Just the way that I have a favorite Guardians movie. It's just not this one. You know. So in my favorite Guardians movie is up at the top, but it's just not this one. I like the way that they handled the next movie that I'm going to talk about later, and I agree with the probably some of the other people that maybe mention this movie. If they do, they'll more than likely mention why. The next one is actually, let's see, Winter Soldier is the next one.
Dang,
lock it off, guys.
Damn, bro, yo,
if y'all gonna hate me, send it my way.
Whoa,
wow.
Well, now y'all see why I can't. Hold up.
Big Mike, word, Mike.
Hold on. Listen.
Good night.
listen. Now y'all see why I can't trust this man. He said Edward Norton wasn't a good day, but he just said Winter Soldier wasn't in. Shut it down, Mike. Shut it down.
What number was that for you, Winter Soldier?
Let's see. It's 19, 18, 17, 16. Number 16 for me. So again, if you see my list, this is all. So the way that I have mine.
So
here's how I do
top
these.
15 for you. Wow.
You said who?
So don't crack top 15 for you. Winter Soldier.
No. Go ahead, man. Let's hear the philosophy.
Yeah, I want to hear. Yeah.
You don't see my tier list. So I have bottom tier, and so this is going from the bottom up.
That's how I made my list, by the way.
Enjoyable but flawed, very enjoyable, which is where these movies are that I'm listing. Great, and then top tier. This is how I'm doing this.
And that's fair, because guys, remember, you only have 27 spots.
Exactly. So I get y'all getting hot.
You can't be in the top 10.
You're getting hot. I get it, but this is all in a very enjoyable
never left the top.
Maine, can you tell me, hold up, real quick.
Go ahead, Tony.
Maine, can you tell me why it's not higher? Like, explain why it's not higher.
Yeah, go ahead, man.
Why Winter Soldier is not higher?
Yeah. Why do you not have it higher? What's flawed about it?
Why do you have it at 16? Yeah.
Well, for me, what I liked about it was that I love the action sequences, like the opening sequence. I love that. I love the opening. I love how they handled my man Winter Soldier. Some of the Pavlov's dog kind of thing. It was interesting, and I get how they did that. Of course, staying true they can to the character, but it just seemed like when you started to get other people involved, like I wanted to see Captain America and the Winter Soldier. I don't want to see goddamn Black Widow. I don't want to see goddamn Nick Fury. I want to see this story about these two or whoever the dynamic was supposed to be. I wanted to see that. If they talking about Captain America and the Winter Soldier, that's what I want to see. I don't want to see Captain America and the Winter Soldier and then all these other parties involved. I didn't really like that. But some of the action was great. Again, it's in a very enjoyable field. It just didn't crack the top 15 for me, and that's all. So it's
just out of curiosity, man. It'll probably add clarity to everyone. 1 out of 10, what would you rate it?
Out of 1 out of 10? Oh, I'll get this about a 8. I'll give it an 8.
Yeah, that makes sense. That's
what these very enjoyables are. But I have a list of things here, and again, the greats are going to be like your 8.5s and up. So right now, this is where it is.
Hold on, is the only thing you didn't like was that they added Black Widow and what's his name? Is that it? Is that like that was so
Where's Ashton Kutcher?
She's getting punked right now. Yeah, we're getting punked right now.
He made fun of Marvel on Twitter. He's never gonna get a role.
Nah, but you saying was that the only reason why I didn't like it?
Yeah, I'm just trying to understand, like it bothered you that much, or not that much, but it bothered you that they had other characters in the movie. That's why you like. Is there anything else reason why you put it as 15 or under 15?
Okay, so here's the other reason. So for me, the way when I watch movies, there's a lot of things production wise and other things that I'm looking for that stick out to me. And so there's certain movies, like for instance, as much as I loved the Eternals, I love the Eternals outside of what they are. The way that they handled the movie, the camera work, the presence, the tone, things like that, little detail stuff like that, that also has bearing for me. Like I'm looking at the aesthetics, I'm looking at the pacing, I'm looking at a lot of those things that determine how I feel about it. So like as much as I love the Eternals, I'm not going back to watch it again. That's just how I'm also one and done. And I love the Eternals.
I'm asking you about Captain America, Winter Soldier, man. That's what I want to know.
Give me a second. I'm adding context so you understand why I'm coming to my decision. So for Winter Soldier, it's a great movie, but they did some things as far as camera work and they did some things pacing wise that while I would watch it 1 or 2 times, it's not something that I'm just like, oh my God, it's amazing. It's in my daily rotation. It's my yearly rotation. And it just isn't.
Well, that's how you watched it. I'm just curious.
The last time I watched it was actually 3 months ago, actually. Me and my homeboys was kicking and they wanted to watch it and we watched it.
Did y'all watch it yet finally? Josh, you and Chloe?
I'm not sure if we did together, but yeah, we'll probably will.
Okay.
All right, so am I got more to go? Okay, so after that, I would say that next is I would say Far From Home. Far From Home. I wasn't feeling that one either. I like Mysterio. I like as far as the cartoons, but the way that they did I got somebody coming in. The way that they handled that also as far as the storytelling was good. The action sequence was good, but it wasn't something that caught my attention for long. And I love Spider-Man, but there's certain movies that to me, like if they don't hit a certain way, if they don't hit within a certain amount of time, you're not getting none out of me. The next one actually is Shang Chi, and I bet some of you might agree after that one. Chloe might agree with this one. She probably might not, but I liked it because the aesthetic was good. I like the story that was being told. That was cool, right? I get the whole diversity thing. I thought it was nice to have that story, and I get he's going to be in the Avengers later on, so of course they had to bring him in and things like that. But that didn't do so well. What number am I on right now? When was that?
I don't know. You tell us.
Yeah, you got your list there.
19 to 11. Yeah. I know. Winter Soldier was 16. You said, right? So
yeah. So 16, and then I went Far From Home.
To be fair, I would say people's probably 15 to 11 would be technically honorable mention because they're not in the top 10.
Correct.
They're really good movies. Yeah.
Correct. And then after that, I would say because now we're getting into the great category, moving up the way we're moving up. So we're moving up now. So after that, I would say definitely gonna be. Let's see. Okay, the next one after that is gonna be Endgame. Here's why I say Endgame is right there. I get that a lot of people agree that Endgame was. And I'm sorry, that's not Endgame. This is Infinity War. Sorry. Here's why I said Infinity War is right here. This is why. Let me explain. Go ahead.
Please do.
Remember when we talked last week when we talked about the I think it was off camera. We talked about the comedy and the levity and things like that. We talked about that, right? Yeah. That was one of the things that I didn't really enjoy. The world is getting ready to lose half of its population. And I understand that the Guardians of the Galaxy was there to add some comedic relief, especially Star-Lord. I get that. But when you're dealing with a threat like Thanos, who's trying to wipe shit out like that, you don't have time to be laughing. You don't have time to be doing none of that. You need to get in there and figure out what the hell is going on and what you can do to fix it. This is a threat, a mad threat. And you can't be, you're here telling jokes. That was one of the things that I just didn't,
what joke?
It didn't really like to me.
I'm about to say, what joke?
This ain't a game? This ain't
a game? I'm saying, like, this ain't a joke. Like, y'all,
what joke did they tell? What joke did they tell, man?
It wasn't the joke. It was just that the way that like Star-Lord, when they had that scene where it was I think it was Doctor Strange, Star-Lord, they would get ready to get
the gauntlet off. Yeah,
they like really like
they wasn't joking though. They was serious. They was about to.
When he was about to drop that power stone, he was having a dance off with the villain, man.
You see what I'm saying? Star-Lord. Like stuff like that. I was like, nah, man. Like this is like big stuff going on. And y'all over here trying to shuck and jive. Like no, and I didn't like that. I just didn't, and I'm getting passionate about that because that was one thing I just didn't like about that movie. Even though it's in the great, like it was an honorable mention. But that man, like this is the precursor to one of the greatest villains that they've ever faced, and people losing their lives, and I just didn't like how they handled that. So that was one of those things for me. And then after that, I would say Civil War was up there too. Civil War was a great movie because I love the way they set up of course, the things for the next phase of the Marvel movies. I love the way they handled everything. I love the bombing. I love all of that stuff that they handled. Well, Spider-Man, we saw Spider-Man, that was dope. The fight sequences and that was dope. I really enjoyed how they handled that movie and the way that they steered the narrative to set up a lot of the different things. A lot of the movies that we're going to be talking about, they were standalone things, but this is when you start to see some of those threads being woven. And I like that, and I really enjoy that. And I think that covers my list so far. I think that covers that. Yeah. So those are that's where we getting into like the top after that.
And she said, cool. We're on. Yeah, go ahead.
So we're on 19, right? 19 to 11, right? Yep. Some of mine was similar to Josh, but I got Iron Man 2 as 19. It was decent, but it's a little dated now. And when I go off my memory, I'm like, I got Guardians of the Galaxy Part 2 as number 18th. I think Josh had that also, and I think also Josh had Captain America as number 17. That's what I got as well. And I'm like Maine. I have an issue with I guess history going far back. I'm like you. I want futuristic. I want, I say Grand Theft Auto is the most basic game. And if I don't want to play Grand Theft Auto, why the hell I want to play Red Dead Redemption? If I don't want to steal your horse, I'd rather steal a car. But personally, I'd rather steal a spaceship. But but Captain America is good. But on the list, when it all comes together, it got to be down there as number 17. This might shock some people, but they don't get mad at me because Maine put this down there too. But Civil War, guys, I'm not feeling Civil War. Yes, it introduced Spider-Man. I don't like Zemo. I love a great villain, and it just bothered me that the villain and his cause. I mean, I get it. He lost his wife, but it just, and I feel like it was cool to have the Avengers versus Avengers, but it was too long and drawn out. It was cool, but I was like, all right, man, we know y'all gonna piece it up eventually. Y'all just killing time now, but that was cool though. Number 15 is going to be the first Guardians of the Galaxy. I love a team movie, so I love that they was a team, but they are just way too silly for me, is the reason why I got them down there. I actually want to watch this again because of WandaVision, but Age of Ultron, I wasn't feeling it, but I am looking to watch it again after WandaVision. But Age of Ultron was cool. I mean, it gave me a really cool Hulk moment, the Hulk versus Hulkbuster. That was cool. But I just wasn't that into it. I think I like it more now, and I haven't even watched it again. But in my mind now, I'm like, oh wow, WandaVision made me really want to see it again. Thor, the first Thor is going to be number 13. It was good introduction to Thor, but it's nothing spectacular. Doctor Strange was really good, man, but it's going to get number 12. But that was really good. But again, they all can't make it. And I guess to start off the under 10, Iron Man. Iron Man was great. But Iron Man, is going to be starting off, that under 10. So Iron Man will be number 11.
11. Okay, gotcha.
Yeah.
Well, Chris, when you get back, you're next, Chris.
Iron Man is sub 10. All right.
Yeah. Hey, just right under. Just right under, though, man.
I love you. All right, so we're doing 19 to 11.
Yeah.
19, I got Thor. Number 18, Ant-Man and the Wasp. I rank Ant-Man semi-high, but the sequel was just kind of iffy, but I did like Ghost myself. 17, Captain America, the first Avenger. That's almost dead center for me.
That's 3 people picked it at 17.
Yep.
Wow.
16 is Eternals. 15 is Avengers Age of Ultron. I agree with Anthony on that one. 14 is Captain America Civil War. 13 is Ant-Man for me. I love Ant-Man. I love Hank Pym. I'm a mere stand for the shrinking stuff. I love it. 12 is Shang Chi, and 11 is Black Panther.
Don't let Chloe hear that.
I really enjoyed Black Panther, but I think there are 10 better movies than that one, honestly, in this list. So
makes sense.
It's up there for me. Shang-Chi, I enjoyed the shit out of. And Eternals was a little long-winded, but I loved it. It was something different, right? So,
cool.
Yeah, that's my list.
Dave.
Yep. So, number 19, I got Ant-Man. to me, 20 to 1 starts the great movies. So
20 to 1 starts great movies. Okay,
huh? 20
That's a wide net.
number 1. Number 18, Avengers: Age of Ultron. The only reason why it's this low, I like most of the Avengers movies. The only reason why I put it this low is because they took the actual real Age of Ultron story and just gutted it, replaced it with this bullshit.
Yeah.
So I took offense to that. I took that shit personally. Number 17, Captain America: First Avenger.
Man, our list is similar as hell.
Yeah, that's 4 people that picked Captain America as number 17.
That's only the first Cap movie right there though.
Right.
Number 16, Doctor Strange. Number 15, I have the Eternals. Number 14, Spider-Man: Homecoming. 13, Guardians of the Galaxy. Now I'm gonna say this: I since I was a little kid, I've never been a fan of space movies. This is the first movie I watched that got me interested in other space movies.
Mm.
All right,
Wow.
because I was like, oh
Wow.
wow, like this is how space movies could be, instead of like
That's
boring
cool.
ass card flying around. But anyway,
Okay.
so yeah, Guardians of the Galaxy number 13 for sure. Number 12, Spider-Man: Far From Home. Anybody who cracks all the villains like don't know Spider-Man's mythos. I feel like, because Mysterio and Vulture are 2 of his greatest villains ever. And y'all
Mysterio
crap on them
actually
like
had
they ain't
magic.
shit. I like, they're nothing. Nah, that ain't shit. But they're literally 2 of his greatest villains ever. So,
But not in these movies though. Like they were. Okay, go ahead. I'm listening to you.
and then number 11, Chris is probably gonna hate me too. Iron Man, the first Iron Man, only because there's 10
Ouch.
movies that came out
Right.
since then, slightly better than that.
That's fair.
So
Right.
that's my list right there for number 11, and then after
Good.
that we go 1 through 10. So Mike, that's it.
You know what? Real quick, when we're done, I want everybody to submit their list, and I want to see how similar everybody's is. Right? I want to see how many people picked the same. I just want to take a look at the.
Who do I send it to?
framework.
Put it in the chat.
Yeah, just put it in the chat. I'll copy paste it.
All right. 19, I got Ant-Man 1, which and 20 was Ant-Man and the Wasp. So right before that, Ant-Man was better than Ant-Man and the Wasp.
Oh.
Is this your like great, or is this your like your above average, or what is
It's
this?
above average.
Okay.
It's above average. Yeah, it's not average. Above average. Yeah, I would say. But you know what? Yeah. But I would say 19 to like 15 is like above average, and then 15 to like 11 is like great. And then I'll go.
Okay.
So
Cool.
Ant-Man, I got a 19. I like the Hank Pym. I wasn't gonna figure out a way to do the Hank Pym Ant-Man story better than Scott Lang Ant-Man story and stuff. I like that they had Hank Pym in there, but still I like the Hank Pym story. It is just a lot. I mean, I like the heist part. That's why it made it better than Ant-Man and the Wasp for me. But still, it was like, I watched it recently too, Ant-Man, and it was like, again, it was on, so I watched it.
Yeah,
that's I'm gonna go look in the watch. Homecoming is 18 to me. Spider-Man. Michael Keaton was great, but he wasn't great. He was okay as a villain. I think that was too. They were still leaning too much on Iron Man for me with that whole story. And Iron Man was in the movie, like it's a lot for me on that. And then the part where he's like at the damn party and you got to run because there's nowhere to swing off of. A lot of that shit bothers me. All right, then Iron Man 2, I'm going with 17. Like Dave said, Whiplash wasn't that great as a villain. At the time when it came out, it was great, right? Because it was Iron Man 2, but now it doesn't hold up as much. First Avenger, I got a 16, so I'm right there with y'all, but I'm at 16 with First Avenger. And I love Cap. That's the only reason why he's higher than he should be. But
then he should be. Where should he be?
He should probably be a little lower than Homecoming actually in Iron Man 2. But I love Cap, so I'm going with 16.
Got you.
However, I don't have a problem with period pieces. Everybody knows that about me. I just watched the new what's that? Kingsman, another period piece. Whatever.
Oh, was it good?
I loved it. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, that's what make it hard for me to see that one.
Yeah. So I don't have a problem with that. I thought Captain what's her name? Agent Carter in that movie. She wasn't that. It was like a little too much for me. For her. And Red Skull, man, they didn't do Red Skull right to me. They could have did Red Skull better. Red Skull is one of the biggest villains throughout the whole Marvel.
I thought he was cool.
Deep roots.
Yeah, me too. I thought
he
he was a great villain. Like,
but then they got rid of him, except for being on Vormir. Like Red Skull sticks around for a long time.
That's been the MCU's issue, is that some of their better villains they kill off after one movie. Like
Killmonger, they kept the scientists around all this time though.
Yeah, Red Skull had his cabal later on in the comic books and whatnot. The whole crew, like none of you know that shit. All right, so then Eternals, man, we just watched that recently, so it's fresh in my mind. Like,
nice.
You know, I thought it would be better. Like, it was just it's too many characters in the movie. It's simple as that. It's too many people. They don't give some of the better people enough screen time. And they'll have like the deviants were so bad. That's really bad, that movie. It's like that. So,
I thought they were cool.
Nah, they don't have personality.
I thought it was
last
cool.
one.
The main one had.
They weren't really the villain though, were they?
No, they wasn't.
If that's the case, then Ares should have personality either. Like my villain got
it's like being mad at the Ultron robots for not having no personality, because they weren't even the real villain. It was Ultron.
Number 14 is Age of Ultron. We'll get to that. So same thing. Whatever. Yeah. I mean, it's just like the MCU sometimes. Like I told you before, Dave has disposable robots. They can do everything. They can chop them up, kill them. Doesn't matter. They're just robots at the end of the day.
Man, it ain't only that. We already proved that. We debunked this already.
Well, not this movie. We didn't.
Not that movie. No. Not that movie. No.
Okay.
But you're saying the MCU only has that? No, they don't. They got
no. Disposable armies, just like in Avengers 1, right?
They're still human beings, man.
How are human beings are aliens?
No. Okay. Who's
right? Thank you. All right. Anyway,
who's the aliens? Hold on. Who the aliens?
The
Chitauri. The people the Avengers were killing in the beginning of Age of Ultron when they went to go get the scepter. Those are human beings. They weren't aliens or robots.
That's the best part of the movie, right there. The very beginning.
that was dope.
Right?
I can't even argue with you on that one, but they was killing humans though.
And they were working together and stuff like that. The team, I think that's what Anthony talking about.
But the best part of the movie is probably the Hulkbuster fight. Just saying.
Yeah, you're right. I agree with that actually. Yeah, that was the best part. And Hulk lost that fight too. So
you throw that in there,
Yo, Mike.
But Age of Ultron, everybody knows that's the lowest Avengers movie, right? Out of all of them. Number 13, it hurts my heart, but I'm gonna say Guardians 2. Guardians 2, James Gunn, who really never misses. He missed a little bit here. It was just too much comedy in this one. Like he went overboard.
I got that one way lower. Yeah.
Yeah. No. Guardians is dope. All of them together. And,
I got it. Wow.
And also, who was it? Who was the villain on that? His dad.
Ego.
Yeah. I mean, Ego was powerful as hell, but he wasn't a great villain to me. Overall.
Yeah.
So, I didn't really think about.
They didn't really portray him like a celestial, right?
Yeah, it was just like I don't know.
I agree with that.
Than the celestial, right?
Yeah.
The conversations with Mantis and Drax again, it was like slow and too much comedy. Trying to figure out.
That shit was funny though. I ain't gonna lie. Their little chemistry.
You would like that shit.
Yeah, I liked it.
All right, number 12. I'm going with Doctor Strange. Doctor Strange was phenomenal visually. It was like Inception all over again, but in the MCU. It was a good story, and again, once you go to like this high, it's not a lot of flaws. It's going to be without.
It was a good story. Who was the villain?
Yeah. Well,
okay.
I just said it was a good story, right? But it was an origin story. It was great. His hand was broke. He was a doctor. He didn't know what to do. He went to Carmitage. He met the ancient one. That whole thing is great. The training with Mordo.
Yeah, that was a good movie.
That's why we're so mad about Ned doing magic now. But Doctor Strange spent 6 months trying to learn the shit or whatever. You know what I'm saying? So it was a good movie. Number 11, Chloe. Sorry to do it. It's Black Panther. Doesn't crack my top 10.
All right, I don't feel so bad now. Okay.
Doesn't crack my top 10. But it was lower before. After rewatching it, it's a good movie. But as I always say, it's not a great comic book movie. You know what I mean? It was one of those things where the villain, of course, so I like Claw. They got rid of Claw way too early. I fucking love Claw. Something like that. He's funny.
He did a good job too.
Yeah. He's dope and whatnot. Not saying I don't like Killmonger too. Killmonger's good too. And his story, everything is pretty.
I like Killmonger a lot.
Yeah, I like Killmonger too. So his story is good. It's good as well. But I feel like that the whole part of them not helping out, other countries like black people or whatever, and then him saying y'all should be trying to help, and his motivation overall, and what he wanted to do at the end wasn't very good to me. However, there's a lot of good in the movie, but I didn't leave the movie feeling like I was like, oh my god, this is incredible. So that's what I was saying from my list. The top 10, I left with a different feeling. Like I wanted to see it again and again. All these movies, though, I saw at least 2 or 3 times in the theaters when it were out. Let's be clear.
Yeah, cool. Facts.
But some I saw 3, some I saw 2.
I made the mistake. I made the mistake of going to see Captain America: The First Avenger in 3D.
Damn,
bro! I got a high astigmatism in my left eye. So we can't see 3D the way other people can see 3D. That shit was fucked up. I was so pissed. I wanted to leave like in the middle, yo. Because I'm like, I can't even watch the shit, yo. Taking the glasses off was even worse. Putting them on sucked. I was like, man, I'll never again in my life see a movie in 3D.
Yeah.
Ever.
All right, so Chris is back.
Yeah,
shout out to Stadia Pro Gaming in the chat. What up, Will?
What up, Stadia Pro?
All right. So let's do, to keep the suspense, let's do 10 through 6, and then we'll all do 5 through 1 right now. Let's keep the suspense, high. So Josh, 10 through 6, what do you got?
So 10, I have Avengers Age of Ultron. So for me, I broke these top 10 into 3 main points for me. Okay. And as Maine said, he has his philosophy, and I respect everyone's philosophy, because let's be honest, when you go to a top 27 and then get to the top 10, it's totally going to be subjective as opposed to objective, right? It's totally going to be biased. I'm gonna respect everyone's opinion, but this is just my list based upon how I felt after the film, how I felt watching it again, and then what it actually represented for me. So Ultron for me is truly formidable, right? And I love, James Spader as Ultron. I thought he was a great voice for it, and it reminded me of the Avengers Assemble cartoon when Ultron's always at the root of everything, and they literally can't get rid of him because he's a virus. He's transcendent. To me, he's formidable.
That's why he got to come back. He probably come back.
He definitely has to come back. Absolutely. And they left that door open at the end of the movie, which I like.
Hey, let me say something real quick, Josh.
They also left it open in the TV show Runaways.
Absolutely.
And,
go ahead,
and
Tony.
also, Josh, they're talking about rumors now about him being in the game in Avengers.
Oh,
yeah, okay. Ultron being in Avengers. Yeah, that's like the big thing going on right now. So
that makes sense, right? Yeah, I mean, you can't have AIM, in my opinion, without Ultron. But
right, yeah. Well, they kind of show him in the game, so now everybody's like pulling up that real quick part where he was in it, and they're thinking maybe he's coming soon. So
what does AIM got to do with Ultron?
I mean, to me, it's just access to other technology besides Stark Tech. Because you can't always get your hands on Stark Tech. Sometimes you can, right? Just like in Age of Ultron, obviously you can't have AIM in there as well because you only have so much time. Mm-hmm. My second point, I love how it was the birth of Vision and Scarlet Witch. Because you can watch these movies with hindsight now, right? Mm-hmm. And then the third point was, I love Tony Stark Sr.'s character development with his guilt and fear, which ultimately set up Phase 3. So I love that element of storytelling as well. Number 9, I have the OG Thor. So for me, looking at it in hindsight, start of the ultimate hero's journey that comes to fruition in Ragnarok, but we'll get there later. Brings the MCU. So as someone else said about getting into deep space, to me, this is what really brought me into deep space, into the MCU, because you had the advanced magic and science. So I thought that was great. And of course, it introduces Loki and Anthony Hopkins as Odin. So, that I love that. Number 8, Captain America Civil War. I absolutely love this film. I could watch this over and over and over. So for me, like, this was a huge, and Michael will tell you, this was a huge conversation in our barbershop. So shout out to Jazz and the New You. The battle of the ideologies and the moralities, right? So and I was on Iron Man's side, by the way, with the accountability, especially with after what happened in Ultron, because you have to have some accountability if a lot of innocent people are dying and then nothing else happens. Now, granted, they're superheroes and they do deserve some latitude, but you got to have some balance there at the end of the day.
What number are you on?
This is number 8.
Oh, number 8 now.
Captain America Civil War is number 8.
Hold that for a second. Who would you guys agree with, Captain America or Iron Man in that movie?
I also agree with Iron Man.
Cap. I agree with Cap all the way. Even when I read it in the comics, I still sided with Cap's side.
What about you?
I think Iron Man bitched up and wanted to sell out.
I think I will have to go with Iron Man.
Same.
Yeah.
I agree with that.
You don't trust the government. Iron Man wanted to work for the government.
It's not about that though, man. It's just like Josh was saying. There's got to be some accountability. You can't always be that powerful and then feel like.
But it's also like Cap. It's also like Cap said. Once you start working for the government, they tell you go over to Ukraine, get us some votes. Go over here.
It's a double-edged sword for sure.
It is a double-edged sword. But at the same time, you still have that ultimate protection from Tony Stark. Right, because he's already been dealing with the government his entire life, government contracts. So when you have enough value, you can do what you want, right? And this is like and how Cap said in Endgame,
they put a
I'm done
12-year-old girl in his
commission, right?
Room. He fucked. I don't give a fuck how much money he got.
No. Tony Stark has complete autonomy, right? But you have to negotiate in good faith. You have to at least come to the table in those situations. For me, that's all. Because at the end of the day, if Thanos comes down, there's not going to be any bureaucratic nonsense at the end of the day. So that's why you always have that leverage because you're an Avenger, but you have to show some good faith for the world, right? That's what I'm saying.
I was curious. Go ahead, Josh. Keep going.
And again, and this is going to be introduction of Black Panther. I thought that was great. How they that chase scene on the highway with Winter Soldier, I thought that was fantastic. And then of course the Russo brothers and the great combination of character development and epic action. I thought they're fantastic. Number 7, the OG Avengers. So for me, it took superhero films to the next level, and I'm talking about the $1 billion standard. Right, because if it's an MCU film and it doesn't hit $1 billion, it's a failure officially now from henceforth, right? So, number 2, I feel like it perfectly illustrated the vision of Howard Stark and Fury and the difficulty in achieving the reality of bringing all these big personalities and superheroes together for a common goal. I thought that was fantastic, and how that character development happened naturally and authentically because you had Cap and Tony Stark, and going back and forth with everything. So I thought that was fantastic. And then we have once again our first introduction to what Thanos is capable of.
Oh, let me say something real quick. Josh, let me excuse me. Whoever got the people talking in the background, that's cool. You could just mute your mic until it's your turn. That's all. All right, go ahead.
All right, thanks, Tony.
No, because I just wanted, the viewers want to hear exactly what you're saying. It's not a problem with background noise.
My bad, man. This mic is mad sensitive. They're like,
mine is too. Trust me, bro. My wife, I do my shows in my room, and she's coughing on the bed. You can hear her. So trust me, I get it.
It's all good. All right, go ahead, yo.
Absolutely, yep. And thank you, guys. And yeah, so number 6, and I'll stop it here. Captain America and Winter Soldier. Huge character development for Cap and Bucky, right? I thought that was fantastic. Having, also having that brotherhood and friendship, being transcended in terms of duty. I thought that was a great, complex storyline. And again, I feel like the number 2, the Russo brothers' magic was founded here. Fantastic. And as Mike always likes to say, and I completely agree, a thrilling adventure full of espionage and complex storylines is phenomenal. A phenomenal film. It's like I feel bad for not putting it higher, but for me, my other top 5, again, it's subjective. it's personal bias, but it is a phenomenal film. And Chloe and I watched it recently. Well, we're going to watch it soon, so that's what I'm.
Go watch it soon. Okay, all right. Maine, you up, brother?
I will chime in really quick on what you were saying. I do, even though I ranked it differently, I do like that brotherhood that you mentioned between Bucky and Cap. That was one of the strongest points to me. I really liked that relationship that they had, and I think it shows way far out, and it was also strong on the onset, right? So it was just something I really liked about that. So I agree with that. So you said we doing 10 through 6, correct?
Right, correct.
Okay, so number 10 for me is going to be Iron Man 3. Actually, here's why.
Wow.
I have some issues with the Mandarin. That was one of my favorite.
Issues.
Here's what I mean. Here's what I mean by that, right? The issue that I have is not so much that, I mean, I loved the person that they chose originally to play as the Mandarin, right? I love the whole "you'll never see me coming." I liked all that, right? And I enjoyed that. But when they did the flip, the whole flip thing, I was like, wait, what? So on the merits of that alone, leading up to that, I thought it was well done. The acting was well done. The presentation was well done. The action sequence was well done. But that was the one thing that I would say that even though, that pissed me off, it was still overall bearing that. Objectively, it was still a decent movie. And I liked it a lot. I really did like that a lot. Number 9 is going to be Age of Ultron. And here's why. Also, Age of Ultron, man, again, the actors, not the actors, but the acting, Ultron was done really well to me. I love that, the way that they portrayed him. Also, the trailer, like the creepy moments that of course, everybody knows about the "got no strings on me" moment, right? Like, just the way that when he did that, when all that happened, I was like, oh, this is real. Like, this dude that they going up against, Ultron, is no joke. And people who don't know, he really is no joke. And I think that they really captured him quite well in that aspect. And I really enjoyed a lot of the banter, a lot of the stakes that were in the movie. I love that also. The only thing that, of course, we talked about the twins that were in there. That was interesting how they changed that. But again, leaving that behind, I really enjoyed how they handled that in Ultron as well. So that was good too. The next one, actually, because of the heist and everything, I actually like Ant-Man. Ant-Man is next up. I enjoyed Ant-Man for what it was. And much like everybody else was saying, as far as the storyline and who they could have used instead of Lang and who they, all that bearing aside, I enjoyed a lot of the action and some of the storytelling that was in there. Yes. And that alone really captivated me. And I really enjoyed that. I thought that was good. The next one is going to be OG Avengers. Much like Josh was saying, it's that ultimate origin story of how all the Earth's mightiest heroes came to be and came together, and the way that they had the relationships, the different ideologies, the meeting, and all of that happened and transpired. I love that. You felt like from this movie moving forward, things are going to get much better, and we were really officially in a well knit and well woven, I guess you could say, MCU. I guess that was what it felt like when you saw them on screen together. It finally happened. Was what popped into my head. It finally happened. And then after that, the last one is actually Guardians 2. The reason why Guardians 2 is up there is because really, of course, the opening sequence is dope. I love that. That was nice and cool to see Baby Groot dancing around with his little attitude and getting upset. That was cool. But even though they didn't do Ego, me being a big Eternals fan, and I mean like big Eternals fan, they didn't do Ego right. I get that, but there was a lot of things that they talked about, a lot of subtleties, and a lot of I guess the story between the relationship of Peter Quill and Ego, the things that he did, how all of that transpired, and how all the team came together. Even the conversation between Mantis and Drax, I actually like that. Now the comedy, right? We talked about the comedy that they brought in Endgame or in the Infinity War movie. It wasn't so much that, like, moving that aside, it's a Guardians movie, so you know what to expect. It's different, right? It's different when they're appearing somewhere else versus their movie. The comedy that's what it's about. So I enjoyed that. The banter between that, Drax is hilarious to me. And I love that. He always kept me laughing, and I really enjoyed that. And I think that for right now, that's where I'm at as far as mine. I enjoy those movies.
Interesting. I love that your list is like so different than everyone else's. I like that.
Yeah.
Good.
Oh man, you're gonna get that regardless.
It's all subjective. I love it. Ant, what you got, bro?
All right, so I think I love what Josh said. This is going to be completely subjective. Everybody's going to have their own thing. I love that Maine has like a little like compartment where this is for this and this is for this. Mainly for me, movies is more what would I watch over what else. But another big thing about me that's really important is superpowers. You know me, guys. I'm a big power fantasy guy. And so that's why my number 10 is actually Captain Marvel. Bro, she is so powerful, and I love that. She's the character I want in the Avengers game next, but I think they're doing She-Hulk. I love her powers. She took Marvel to like another level because I felt like she was like the Superman. And I thought that was really cool. I think what Mike said was cool for me. I agree with Dave as far as or Maine as far as going back too far. But like Mike said, she only went to the 90s. It wasn't too far out. But her power sets, man, is just I'm overwhelmed with. I like her a lot because she's so powerful. So that's number 10. Number 9 is going to be Infinity War. I mean. First of all, the Avenger movies are amazing, right? I love team movies and Infinity War. I mean, Mike loves it, right? And it's just a combination of one of the biggest storytellings in all of cinematics. And what you get in that movie, the emotions, the highs, like you guys are saying, one of the biggest scenes was probably Thor coming down with the axe. I mean, man, this movie showed us how truly powerful Wanda is. Infinity War it has a certain spot for me, even though it had no hope moment. But the movie was so solid without that. It's my number 9. Funny thing is, some of these newer movies hit me in a certain way that I like. Man. If the ending was a little different, this movie probably would have blew me away. But Shang Chi, man. So this is what I like. So I'm not big on comedy in my movies, but Shang Chi had good comedy. It was a little silly, but it had some good comedy, and the action was on point. And I think because I don't know much about the character, I was able to like the movie more and didn't nitpick it as much. And it would have been higher up, but the ending, I just felt like, the big dragon and the super demon, like it was just too much. It was just the character was too giant and huge, and I felt like it could have been a Godzilla King Kong. But other than that, Shang-Chi was such a solid movie, so that's get my number 8. Mike and I went back and forth talking about this, but I actually really enjoyed Eternals a little more than Shang-Chi. It gave me X-Men vibes. It's a team that was already put together with a bunch of characters. I personally think they did a good enough job on each character. I didn't have a problem with the deviants. I thought the color of them was a little off. They was too colorful. But other than that, they was cool looking creatures. And I like that they really wasn't the villain. Like there really wasn't a villain in this movie. So you could take it however you want it. But I love that I love powers, and they was collectively just remind me of the X-Men. Like they just was super powerful. This person could do this person could do that. It was a great movie. I'm a huge fan of Hulk. So number 6 is gonna be Ragnarok. You get a movie with Hulk and Thor together, and I loved it pretty much was Planet Hulk as well. But my issue was I don't like too much comedy, and it was so silly, but it was so funny. So the comedy was just, you laughed through the whole movie. So I saw the movie and I left the movie saying, was the best part of the movie, the worst part of the movie? Was it too much comedy? If it was a serious Hulk and Thor, would have been better. But the comedy was so great. So that movie was just a great movie to me. The villain was just amazing with his sister. You got like some great standoffs. This person versus this person. Loki was probably the best Loki for me in that movie. Yeah, Ragnarok is my number 6. So.
Cool. Chris, what you got, buddy?
Just real quick, if you got Ant, you wrote your list down on paper, right?
Yeah.
Send me a picture of that.
Okay.
And everybody else, if you want to drop, if you have copy paste, drop your list in the private chat, and then I'll copy it to a list, and then I'll post on Twitter later the comparisons. So it's just something fun I want to do. I'm a nitpick. All right, so we're going 10-6.
I'll probably send you mine on Facebook.
That's fine. However you can get it to me.
Okay. All
right. 10-6. Number 10 was Spider-Man: Homecoming. Love the hell out of that movie. I love Marvel Spider-Man. Me and E are on the same page there. Number 9 was kind of like the Marvel movie we were all waiting for at the beginning, Avengers, right? So the original Avengers is number 9 for me. Number 8, and this was, okay, I haven't seen No Way Home yet, right? So I may have ranked it a little lower than I should have. I saw all the spoilers. I know the movie, the entire plot of the film. So I got Doctor Strange at 8, and then Spider-Man No Way Home at 7, which is probably really low. But because I haven't really gotten the experience yet, I'm not sure where to put it. And just like Ant at number 6, I have Thor Ragnarok.
Well, hold on. Tell me a little bit about Doctor Strange. I want to hear, what you're like.
All right. So before Doctor Strange came out, I called my friend Mike, who's a huge comic book guy. I'm like, yo, just tell me a little bit about Doctor Strange because I know nothing about it. And I went into the movie loving how he broke his hands and found a way to overcome that. I love the whole spell and mystical aspect of it. Like, I'm fascinated by that mysticism in real life, too. And I think Doctor Strange is really the most powerful Avenger next to Scarlet Witch in terms of like just being what they're able to do. I mean, not only on a physical level, but on a metaphysical level too, right? So Doctor Strange really impressed me. I want to put it higher on the list, but there are 5 other better movies than those yet that I still got a list. So yeah. And
what about Ragnarok? You didn't speak about that yet.
Thor Ragnarok was awesome. I love Taika Waititi's directing. I love his comedy. I can't wait for his Star Wars movie. The way they did Hulk in there, I thought was fantastic. The camaraderie between him and Thor was kind of like out of nowhere. You know what I mean? Like you didn't expect those two to because in the Avengers movie, remember they were brawling each other and they kind of had this like big brother, little brother aspect to them. I thought it was cool that they had to combine forces to get out of that place. And then when they went back to their homeworld or whatever, I just loved Thor Ragnarok, man. Like how Thor found himself, and Hulk when he was beating on that dog, bro. Like that was Hulk at his hulkiness for me, right? So
I think it was Big Wolf, right?
Yeah. And then when Ragnarok. He wanted to go knock Ragnarok out, bro. He was running after him like, no, Thor, come back. And he was out there punching that dude, man. So that was awesome.
Dave, you're up, bro. 10-6.
All right. Number 10. Woo! Here we go. All right.
We're getting it,
number 10, No Way Home. This movie could have made this list, made the top 10 just on the hype, on the pre-movie hype, first off. Another first for the MCU, incorporating the stable of characters from a far less entertaining universe and made them somewhat relevant. Not surprisingly, once in the hands of Kevin Feige and John Watts, these characters shine for their for all the time that they were on screen. The movie as a whole, I felt, was jam-packed with non-canon stuff, which is kind of important now when you have a cinematic universe because you don't have the characters to do the true stories. So the non-canon stuff that I liked was like Doc Ock doing a face turn, Never ever happened before. May dying, another one that never happened before. But there wasn't really not much character development outside of Prime Spider-Man. I don't count Ned doing magic as character development. That's just giving him a power. MJ was just there to be saved, pretty much. All right. There was not. I mean, but even though with as much going on as it was, that's not a knock. You know, this list could have been a lot higher had it not been for like all the plot holes that I've seen after on my second and third viewings. That's number 10 for me. Number 9, Civil War, Captain America 3 Civil War. The movie was another Russo brothers classic, loosely adapted from the deeper Civil War story, which I think they should have waited on this one, to be honest, until they had more characters in the stable. I struggled to figure out how they were going to adapt this, to be honest, because like 80% of the principal people in the original Civil War storyline aren't in this movie. You know, and it was kind of weird, but they pulled it off. You know, the cast is loaded. We get the first appearance of Spider-Man and Black Panther in the same movie, no less. The airport scene gave us that quintessential good guy versus good guy battle that everybody wants to see. And it solidified Cap as a force against literally anybody in the MCU, with the exception of Thanos, obviously, when he hit him with that right. Not a complete perfect movie. You know what I mean? Zemo's plan was so far out there, I can't even rein it in. And the fact that they had a whole team of Winter Soldiers, like they talked up a whole team of Winter Soldiers through the whole movie, and then they kill them and they sleep before the heroes get there to fight them. It would have been a great scene to have Zemo unleash them on them, have them fight them, and then they could fight.
That should have been the plan, bro.
I agree.
Yeah, that was a swing and a miss on the Russo's part right there.
I would have liked it because that would have been like my climactic clash I wanted. I felt like,
exactly. You would have got to see the heroes team up, and then after they whip ass, they find out, oh shit, you're my enemy now too. Like,
right.
So, so there's that. Number 8, the first Avengers movie. This was the movie that actually, to me, got the ball rolling on the MCU because we had the great Iron Man movie, followed by the great Captain America, followed by Iron Man 2, was it? Right, it was followed by Iron Man 2, then Thor, and then Captain America. Yeah, and then the Hulk. Well, yeah. I honestly almost don't count the Hulk as an MCU movie. That's how May asked me.
But he made that appearance, so that ties it all together. So Iron Man made the appearance.
So it does tie it together. So
good point.
I forgot about
like
that.
The bastard, adopted son of the MCU. But yeah,
the Ned Stark.
But now this is the one that got the ball rolling. It's arguably it has the most iconic superhero scene in any movie, period. You know, when they all came together for the first time in Pershing Square. The story was beautifully laid out. The villain was without a doubt probably the best villain in almost any movie. Loki is just the quintessential villain. The action sequences were A+. Ramifications of the film were felt across the entirety of the MCU. All the way into even Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. and the Netflix shows. The cast, they came together like butt cheeks, man, for lack of a better word. And I gotta say, it's a thrill ride. It was just a thrill ride from start to finish. This is one of the movies I saw almost 4 or 5 times, I think. I think it was 5 in the theaters within the first week. Like I was going to the movies almost every day. That's how cleaned out I was for this. Number 7, Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 2. This is the sequel to that outstanding original. Pulls off the rare feat of being better than the original, albeit slightly. Even the opening credits are entertaining. All right, the comedy's there in spades. The soundtrack was another smash fest from James Gunn, who, I don't know, when it comes to soundtracks, he's probably the best director in the game. It comes to that. The cast and their amazing chemistry, action sequences are fire. I mentioned earlier I wasn't really a big fan of space movies until these movies came along. So there's that. It changed my mind greatly, you know. I like space movies now from Marvel. The Yondu and Rocket escape scene was probably my favorite scene of the whole movie. When they went through to the, come a little bit closer. When they walked through the shit, killing 500 something Ravagers who were not robots in any way, shape, or form. Or just disposable army. Just, the story's powerful. Beautifully directed by none other than James Gunn, obviously. And to me, Yondu's death scene was the hardest hitting one in the MCU. I don't know. I
yeah,
can call that a cold take if y'all want, but Yondu scene hit me more than Iron Man scene hit me. That's
a cold take, but Yondu scene was
I'm Mary
though.
Poppins.
It was, yeah.
I'm Mary Poppins, y'all. That's my shit.
Yeah, yo.
I forgot
number
about
6.
that. You're right, man.
Yeah. Number 6, Shang Chi and the Legend of the Ten Rings. So this movie was fucking pure lava. All right. The casting was on point. Literally, it's like every person that was in that movie had the role written with them in mind. It's very rare to come across a movie like that. It helped the overall believability of the movie. Left a lot of strings to be pulled when they walked through the Fight Club. Left a lot of things that they could have stretched out further. They got Wong in there. They got Abomination in there. So they set up a couple different shows and movies. The fight scenes are extremely fluid and have that true Hong Kong cinematic feel to it.
Yes.
The fight scenes were just amazing. The set pieces were breathtaking. Perfect amount of cameos. They didn't go crazy with it. And the story was just amazing. And the villain, I mean, come on, bro. If nobody could put the Mandarin as the top 3 villain in MCU, I don't know what movies I was watching. So that's my 10 through 6 right there.
Okay.
Yeah, just real quick, Stadia Pro Gaming, Empire Strikes Back was trash, bro. Okay, continue.
Oh wow,
that was my favorite one.
What? And also,
that's a lot of people's favorite one, but not mine.
Also, Dave,
it's a top for every top. The top for every top.
The color use in Shang-Chi was really well done too.
Yeah,
the colors popped. A lot of the color. It was really colorful.
Oh yeah, they had that whole cinematic feel. Like, I don't know if y'all. I don't know how old everybody is in the chat, man, but I came up watching a lot of the Jet Li movies and a lot of like IP Man.
Oh yeah.
And bro, this screams that, yo. Like it screams that Hong Kong style.
Marvel has a martial arts movie now,
and it's fine. All
right.
Yo, the newest It Man was awesome, by the way.
All right, so my number 10 is Ragnarok. For many reasons you all stated. Also, I just felt like Hela was just she was dope. She could have had a little bit more of development, but she was powerful as fuck. Like, I'm mad they kill her so early. I like Thor's journey though, and Ragnarok. Like, he lost his dad, he lost Asgard. Like, you saw a lot of things happen to him. I like that they introduced what's her name?
Valkyrie.
Valkyrie. I like her. I thought Loki was good in this movie as well. I like the whole for Asgard at the end when they're fighting and stuff like that. And like y'all say, the Hulk was like, he was almost like the Avengers Assemble Hulk. Like, he was right in between. He wasn't Professor Hulk, and he wasn't just like rah. He was like had a little bit of personality. So I like that as well. Jeff Goldblum never misses. Another person never misses.
Come on, man.
Yeah,
Jeff. It's Jeff.
Yeah, gotta love Jeff Goldblum as well, as always. And what's my guy from The Boys? He was good too in the movie. I forget his name. He's the
Executioner, Carl Urban. Yeah.
Carl Urban.
Yeah.
Oh my God, Carl Urban was great.
Yeah, he was also in Lord of the Rings.
Josh, thank you, because I'm thinking. Hey, Josh, when I think of Carl Urban is Riders of Rohan.
That was 15 years ago, though. The Boys is already like that. All right. So hold on one second before I finish mine. We got somebody late arrival. We got Mr. E.
Yeah.
We started 2 hours ago, bro.
Right.
Yeah.
Listen, I had to pick up my son from a sleepover.
Unfortunately, I can't listen to
What the hell you say that? Mars?
In Texas? Damn. God. Where was he in Dallas? Fort Worth?
Hold up, Mike. You don't want him to just read it out real quick?
Yeah.
No. Go for it.
What?
Go ahead.
No, but finish this first.
Oh yeah, Mike, finish your thing.
I'll let you go. Then I'll finish my top 10. You got
no, Mike, but you stopped. Did you get to 6?
No.
Yeah, get to 6 and then let E go.
Yeah, get to 6.
And then E can go to 6, and then
All right, cool.
Yeah.
All right. So 10 was Ragnarok. 9 is Civil War for me. For all the reasons you guys, a lot that you named. Why are you laughing at Civil War being 9?
I'm laughing at E reaction.
Not a
Oh, you should have been here earlier.
Oh, you missed it, bro.
You missed a lot. You missed a lot. Yeah.
Yeah, you missed a lot, E.
You want to go back and watch this one?
Yeah, you're gonna want to watch this over.
All right.
Yeah.
So Civil
Y'all must
War
have been
for
saying
me,
some- Wow.
I thought that first and foremost, this is the best version of Black Panther Civil War right here. I thought that the Black Panther Civil War, he was ruthless, he was savage, he was like, yo, I don't care about nothing. He was like, yo, hey, my name is Clint. I don't care about your name, bro. Like, he was like, I'm coming to get my revenge by any means necessary. In Black Panther, he was kind of a little bit more political and soft.
More
In
subdued,
this movie, he was just like, yo, I'm coming no matter what. I felt like even the chase, like the Josh said, the chase under the before that, inside of the Winter Soldier's house, Bucky's house, the whole fights with the cops out there, them running the chase scene, like that was dope. This Spider-Man, I like how the Russos directed.
I'll be right back, fellas.
Yeah, I like the Russos directed Spider-Man better than John Watt did as well, because I like when he's fighting Falcon and Winter Soldier and stuff like that. He's talking to him with the little whips, little quips, stuff like that. But he's like, yo, I'm really more powerful than both of you guys. Like, I'm trying to, like, not hurt you, really. You know what I mean? So I thought that was dope. The course, the airport scene was cool. Zemo was the flaw. That's why I said 9 and not higher, obviously. And I'm mad because Zemo's getting better. Like, he was a Falcon Winter Soldier, but should have had him like that in here. And then, yes, they did mess up with having the Winter Soldiers not fighting all the villains, but that final dialogue and fight scene with Iron Man, Bucky, and Cap was just dope, yo.
Dope.
And
Dope.
the whole thing, the barbershop conversation was, Josh, you remember, the fact that Bucky killed his parents. I don't care if he was under a spell, if he was under whatever. If you kill my mom and dad, I'm going to kill you. I don't care.
That was one of the biggest reveals out of probably any movie right there.
No, for me, the biggest reveal is the fact that Cap knew it didn't say anything. That was trifling. You can't do that.
And if you try to stop
Did he
him
really?
killing your boy, yeah, Cap knew. Cap
He
told him
found that out when he watched the, or he already knew that.
Yeah. And Tony asked, "Did you know?" And Cap bashfully.
Oh, right. That's why. Oh, right.
Yeah.
And I was like, "Nah, you can't do that."
Foul. That was foul.
And he,
Did I miss one? Did I miss one, guys?
Cap is all about his due north moral compass, his
Yeah.
moral high horse. And you gonna do that?
Yeah, he ain't a high horse, man. He was right. He was right about that.
But you remember this?
No, we're talking about the fact that he didn't tell Tony that Bucky killed his mom and dad.
I thought they found out at the
what?
same time.
Wait, did Captain America know that Winter Soldier?
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
Yeah,
He told him.
He knew.
Wait,
But this
when did he find out? When he find that out?
Right.
And Winter Soldier.
And Winter Soldier.
But did Cap find out in the movie?
In
Winter Soldier, he found out.
Okay,
Well,
no.
yeah,
Let me rephrase this again.
Did he know during that time?
Maybe I'm asking it wrong.
Okay.
Was there a scene where he told him, "I killed Howard Stark. I killed his parents"?
No, he found out.
So it
from
was
Nick
told to him
Fury
off
and
screen,
them.
apparently.
It was told to him on Winter Soldier, and when he did
By-
his paperwork and looked through he had to look it up himself. Remember, him and Nick Fury was looking through that shit.
No, it was him and
Winter Soldier.
it was
No,
Black Widow.
Natasha. Yeah.
Yeah. That's what he found
You
out.
talking about when they were
That's
with
when he
Zeke?
found out. Remember, Natasha was telling him that you don't want to go and rip that Band-Aid off. You don't
Because there was a video. I thought Cap saw the video.
And that's what I thought he found. Oh
no! Because when the
If you go
video
through-
came on, if you look at Cap's face, Cap saw it.
What's that dude name? That's from the that's on the computer now with the glasses. That was in
Baron
Zola.
Zola was when Zola scrolls through all that shit. It's an article, and then
it shows
that
who killed him,
that it killed his parents.
Oh, okay. Then yeah. See, then
So when did
yeah,
the footage come in? When did they see the footage?
The footage Tony saw in Civil War, but Cap already knew though. Stuff.
Cap knew what the footage was. If you look at Cap's face, Cap, as soon as the footage came on, Cap was like,
"Yeah,
yep."
Like,
I need to rewatch that.
Me too.
That's my top one. That's why.
I got you.
Wait,
that's my top.
We're almost there.
We're almost there. But listen, that's my thing. Like, yo, if you kill my mom and dad, every time I see you, I'm trying to kill you. So they could never be in a scene together like ever again and whatnot. I don't care what Cap talking about. And then the whole fight scene was super dope. They right in the comic books, they had the part where Tony got the got his what is it called? Stuff out of his hands, and Cap got the shield. That was like a perfect scene right there. And then when Cap is fighting Tony, and then Tony's Friday is like, listen, you can't beat him. And then he's like, yo, figure out his punching pattern. And then Tony started winning. That was so dope.
Yeah, that was dope.
That was like, yo, it was like the machine.
In the comics, it was the same way, yo. That battle, went panel for panel, damn near, yo. I'm not even gonna lie, yo.
She's like, yo, you can't beat him. He's too fast. I was like, yo, that's super dope and shit, right? Then
he was a better Taskmaster.
Oh,
right.
Basically, he was the better Taskmaster.
He was the better Taskmaster.
Then Bucky comes in and Tony hit the unibeam, his arm goes off, which was dope and shit like that. I was like, yo, Tony really shipping both of these dudes right now and shit like that. And then, you know, at the end, Tony about to win, but then Bucky hypes it. So that was a great movie to me altogether. So then after that, I got No Way Home. A lot of reasons Dave said, like No Way Home, the hype itself was amazing. It's one of those tentpole films where it's like this, like you said, Tony, the crowd, the reaction, all that stuff just makes it wonderful. We had a whole talk about this last month, so we'll have to get into it. But what I didn't like was what they did with the lizard and stuff like that. I felt it was wasted a little bit. And Sandman, they also dropped the ball. They could have just had a fucking centers of 6. You got 5 already. Like you could have just had 6.
True.
You know, in my opinion, in that. But the fights and the fight inside the apartment with Willem Dafoe, Green Goblin. Oh man, he was throwing wrestling moves. He hit him with a
for real.
He hit him with the last ride from fucking Undertaker.
Threw some floors too, man.
I didn't see that.
He did.
It was crazy, yo. So that was, but in the whole scene when his spider sense comes on and he figures it out, like that was really good. The Aunt May dying is not in the comic books, but it still played its role. And I finally got to see Spider-Man grow up. So that was my thing. I agree with you. Cool. MJ and Ned are a waste of time, but that's whatever. All right. 7 is Shang Chi, man. And we all had our reasons. To me, again, I said this when it came out. This is the best hand-to-hand combat in the whole MCU. Like all 27 films. Like it's like, and it's different types too, because you got his mother and she got like the wind and shit like that, and the Mandarin who was around for 10,000 years and got these rings, and he goes over here and she's like, bro,
that was the most visually stunning fight in the
MCU. That was amazing. Him and his
that
mom
was
fighting.
The one between the father and the mother. Like in the woods.
That was
that was dope too.
That's Crouching Tiger, Hidden Dragon
to
stuff.
Me, I was about to say that. I was about to say that was yoga.
I gotta watch that again too.
Man, that shit was dope, sorry, bro. And then you go from that one, and then you got the way Wenwu, his father, used these rings. It was like 50 different ways, bro. Like he was throwing them out, bringing them back.
So you're gonna do one way versus Thanos?
What happened?
He hit him with that tiger uppercut.
I agree with that, Josh. Like that. But
and then I want to let me say something real quick, Mike, that I didn't say about Shang-Chi when it was my turn. For me, and I said this before, but I want to say it real quick here, is for me, it's the most visually stunning superpower I've ever seen. Because when you pay attention that each ring comes off and comes back on, and they show it. You can rewind it, whatever, you always see the ring come off and come back. And I mean, from him swinging on the clouds, from him using it as a gun, pretty much, the rings go off and come back every single, from him using it to knock itself in the air. It's visually amazing as a superpower.
Those
over Captain Marvel's binary form.
Yes. Well, because visually, just see what you're watching is these rings come off and come back. They always. So imagine it. He's shooting like it's a gun, like it's like each of those bullets, or it looks like bullets. That's a ring going and coming back out of all 10, and 5 on each arm.
That's cute. That's cute. That's movie cute. That ain't. That's not Shang-Chi for me. So to me,
that's fine. Yeah,
that does nothing for me. Like seeing Captain Captain Marvel's binary form floating around her and her flying.
I can't wait to hear your list.
It's way more beautiful than watching somebody sling some.
Yeah, but you're just saying somebody physical form is glowing pretty much versus you're watching this thing. I'm just saying, scene for scene, you could like slow it down and be like, yo, they showed it go and come back, right? Where she just kind of like was glowing, you know.
That's just attention to detail, man. I
just thought that it was so many different ways. I like when the movie was first coming out. I know he used it in so many different ways. Like that first scene when he's in the ancient times where he goes to fight them. And he's making like a fireball and bring it back.
Right.
That's crazy.
Right.
Anyway, I like that. Also, it's like so many different fighting styles, right? Because on the bus scene, it's kind of like more like Jackie Chan, right? That whole style. Then you got the Crouching Tiger, like you said, which was like with the mom. But then when him and the sister fought, she had a different fighting style, like inside the thing or whatever, like that.
And him and Death Dealer, when him and Death Dealer fought, and he caught Death Dealer trying to jump out of the joint. That was my fight. That's a fight scene. I don't know what y'all be looking at, but that's a fight scene.
I mean, all right, you like what you like, whatever. Like now, what made it drop was the whole Trevor Slattery Mandarin back. That thing lasted too long. The little fucking the Chinese little thing,
Morris.
whatever it's called.
Morris, man, Morris.
You can see him too,
bro. Without that part, if you take the part out of the movie, this movie might be even higher, bro. But
you needed that. Everybody was wondering what happened to him. You needed that.
Nobody wondered what happened to him. Who cared what happened to him?
How the fuck you trick?
Any of y'all care what happened to him? Nobody care what happened to him.
To Morris?
No, not to
Morris.
To the fake Mandarin.
Remember, Morris was the fake Mandarin.
To Slattery, yeah.
We all thought Morris was the Mandarin at one point. So I don't know how nobody wanted to see what the fuck happened.
Morris was the pet, dude.
Morris was
Morris the pet. Yeah,
Slattery was the guy. Trevor Slattery.
He was talking about Slattery.
Trevor
Slattery.
Yeah. I wanted to know what happened with Trevor, not Morris.
Did you see that little thing on Disney Plus, that side movie about Trevor?
I was about to say,
they got a bunch of one-shots they loaded up, man.
One-shots. Yeah,
they got a bunch of one-shots they loaded up. One's the consultant. They're dope. I ain't gonna lie. Them shits are lit.
Yeah. Also, man, hold on. I'm finished, Anthony. Also, I like Asian films too. I'll go with that. All right, and my number 6 is Endgame, right? And Endgame.
Wow.
I know Endgame is dope. Me and Anthony go back and forth about this too, man, for the last few years. But Endgame is dope, and it gives you what was dope. Of course, is the last battle scene, right? It's got everybody in it, obviously. It's
besides the Hulk.
Besides the Hulk, whatever you get, but you get Ronin and then Endgame, which you didn't ever get before, so that was pretty cool.
Right.
A lot of the, what Endgame is like, because and the heist part is cool. Heists are always cool, but because the heist is going back in time, you're seeing a lot of scenes you already saw already. So that's why it's not as high to me. However, I did like finding out what the ancient one was doing while the battle was going on. So I thought that was cool. Everybody said, well, where were they at? But obviously she was helping and stuff like that.
Right.
So I thought that was pretty cool.
She could have went over and helped Kate, but whatever. Right. Could do a little magical shield around Kate's building before her father, but whatever.
Anyway, the Cap versus Cap fight, I didn't really feel that much. I know people didn't like it. I could do
that was awesome.
I could have used without that.
Did y'all know that was his brother fighting him?
No, I had no idea.
Yeah, they used his brother as a stunt double.
His brother as a stunt double. Yeah.
I did like, the one callback, like the elevator scene where it got a little tense. You thought Cap was going to do the same thing, but he didn't when it got in there. That was Easter.
That would have been so fucking dope, yeah.
That was Robert. That was Robert Redford's last acting film ever. Like he retired after Avengers Age. So I thought that was pretty cool. For his career. And they won, right? So of course it's in my top 10. They won. It was triumphant. Iron Man died. It was sad. Black Widow died. Of course.
Spoiler alert for those who ain't seen it yet.
I do like the chase scene when they're trying to keep the rings. I mean the stones away from Thanos, because it goes from like Black Panther gets it from Clint, and finally he's like, "Hey Clint," before he was like, "I don't care about your name." He's like, "Yeah, Clint." Then Spider-Man gets it. He grabs it, and it's like a lot of good stuff. Captain Marvel is a problem too, because she was gone for 2 hours. And then she comes back like that. And
she came back and pretty much wrapped it up, though,
But they nerfed her, though. Why leave her? Like, why get away?
On top of that, they didn't even know if she was on their side or not.
Right.
Like the ship starts aiming. Like they didn't
That's
make
a good
any
point.
decision up there. Who called that shot? Who was like, oh shit, we got something coming. It's everybody aim everything at it.
That was cool as hell, though, man.
Wait, hold on.
it's
How they ain't know that though? They know who she is. She's the
How
one
they
that
know
brought
who she
Stark
is?
back. Because she brought Stark back. What are you talking about?
No. But he's saying she was just coming down like a glowing missile.
How did Thanos' army know that she was evil?
Yeah.
Like, she was bad.
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure Thanos ain't dumb. Something's coming in the atmosphere, coming straight.
But Thanos was down there getting work from Thor and shit. He wasn't
right. But the people that's on the ship, whoever's controlling the ship,
the
they
creatures
see the beam coming down, coming at the ship. They're gonna aim the guns up at it.
That was cool as hell.
Instead of helping the boss get the fucking gauntlet, he aimed at one person.
If you are at war,
but
everybody's fighting. You are not going to be sent up here. Hey, boss, look, there's some light coming up here. Do you want me to?
No, what I'm trying to say is, okay, so there was a light coming from space, right? I get that. Why aim every single gun you got at it?
They had to have known that.
The shit was coming crazy.
They had to have known that.
One gun, bro, I can go crazy. One bullet will put me down.
Maybe they could. Maybe like Vegeta, they could detect their power
mentioned
level
Thor,
or
Dave, Thor was a problem for me. They could have had him like, I get his PTSD and going through, but they could have had him like getting the shape of this movie, right? Like I only kept him as Fat Thor the whole freaking time, and then like he was so OP in Infinity War. In this movie, he like got chipped by Thanos or whatever a little bit. So I was like a little upset with that. Now Thanos in every movie is great, and I do love the fact that he sat there and rested. Like I'm waiting for these dudes to come out. He sat down, put his helmet down, like, yeah, all right, whenever y'all ready. I'll be ready. Like I love that part and stuff like that.
But I love Doctor Strange mimicking that. That's crazy.
And then when
nobody saw that.
Yeah, he did. And then when he cut
another bad decision. Sorry, not to cut you off. Another bad decision on Thanos' part was letting was not attacking before everybody came through the circle.
This was a different
like, as soon as
Thanos.
I see that one circle open up, I'm gonna be like, attack! Quick! Before the rest of
he made a good point.
The reason they even beat this Thanos because this is the Thanos that went unknowing what he was fighting. He didn't know what he was going against.
Right.
The Thanos that they lost to knew what he was going against because he fought.
But the one they fought though, he was a better fighter though. He was a beast.
Yeah, he was a war general.
I can't say
he just underestimated his.
I never thought of that. That it was completely different Thanos that didn't know.
Yeah. But bro, he was beating all three of them like it was nothing, bro. He was
right,
but
he was a variant. He wasn't better than the first Thanos. He won. The first Thanos won. You're not better than the first Thanos.
Hold on.
The first Thanos won and
the first Thanos won with the stones.
Yes.
The other one had no stones.
But listen, he used the stones to destroy the stones. He won. He got his whole shit accomplished. Everything was accomplished that he won.
Thanos in Endgame,
he lost badly.
No stones.
Right. And
he had no stones. He had no. He's right. He had no stones to still get him work.
Yeah, and he lost badly. He had an army though. Our Thanos didn't come with an army. Our Thanos came with the Black Order. That's it.
And 2 Infinity Stones.
Right.
Let me finish my.
That's to me 2 Infinity Stones.
Come on, man.
He chipped Hulk without the Infinity
without any.
Nah, he had one. He had one.
He
had 20 stones from Xandar.
He didn't use it
on the ship.
We saw him use it when he hit Captain Marvel. He did not hit Hulk like that. He hit Hulk with bare
He was
knuckles.
wearing the gauntlet when he fought Hulk.
And he put him to sleep.
Yeah, but he was wearing the gauntlet when he fought Hulk.
Listen, we get too caught up on this. We didn't get to our 5, man.
We should know what
look who it is.
Infinity Stone would do. Look at Vision.
There they go, man.
Yeah. All right. Let me finish. All right. So the fact that he did cut the vibranium shield was like, yo, we need that metal here. The fuck? Like, he cut the damn shield. Anyway, then I like the moment between Spider-Man coming back with Tony though. Like, and that set up, his arc in Homecoming because you can see like, his love for
the one you
Tony
hated.
And stuff like that. The arc was cool, whatever. But anyway, so Endgame is number 6 for me. E. I'm gonna stop there. E. Give me your
27 through 11.
10.
Through 6.
To 11.
To 6.
Yeah.
Yeah, definitely to 6. Yeah, go to 6.
Yeah.
27 through 6.
Correct.
Like 27 through 11, just burn through them, and then
what you got?
10,
you
9,
got
7,
you got
6.
Your top 10.
Talk about why.
No matter.
Yeah, I definitely got my top 10.
All right.
So my favorite phase for Marvel period was Phase 3. I loved Phase 3. When it came to Doctor Strange, I loved the Doctor Strange. I loved Civil War is my number one.
No.
Wait. You're doing it backwards. You got to start low and work your way up to number one. So start with the worst
number
one.
one.
All right,
Work
so
your
you
way
want me
to
to
best.
start to the worst movie all the way up?
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
Prepared for
So
the class.
27 though. Or just 10?
If you only got 10, do 10. If you got do
Okay.
do
all right.
do
'Cause
do
some
10
of
to
that
10
stuff
to
I don't
6.
even want to.
Do 10 to 6.
Count.
All right, do 10 to 6.
My number 10 would have been Thor Dark World. That's my number 10.
Wow.
Yeah, I enjoy watching Chris Hemsworth in Asgard fighting. Like that's something that I like to see more of. So I like that. I like that.
Okay.
When it comes to, I can do this off the head. This is how easy this is. My number 9 would be Guardians of the Galaxy 2. Loved it. I watched that movie a lot. I even know some of the soundtracks. So like, yeah, that
I got almost all of them on my phone, yo.
Right. So you know, what I mean, that's what made it good. What's up, yo, man? But that's what made it good. The soundtrack. My number
8.
What am I on? Number 8 would be I gotta say, man, Age of Ultron. Gotta say Age of Ultron. I like to see heroes get killed and you know people lose somebody. Like I was a little sick of everybody holding hands at the end and nobody dying type mess. So that worked for me in that aspect. They brought War Machine back. He didn't look. I mean, he still was like a sidekick, but he did his own little thing at the end of the movie. What number am I on now? 7, right? Number 7 would be Ant-Man. I thought Ant-Man was good. I enjoyed that. I like seeing the different styles of superhero powers being used, and he's funny. Like that was a whole different type of atmosphere than what you would get from everybody else. After Ant-Man, that's number 7. Number 6 would be I want to put Thor Ragnarok in there because just seeing Jeff Goldblum be in the Marvel universe, like you gotta understand. My mom had me raised, and I love Jeff Goldblum, like from The Fly, like from a lot of movies, from Jurassic Park, like so to see
Independence
him in the
Day.
MCU, Independence Day, you can keep going.
Yeah.
You can keep going. That's my boy, man. That's my boy. That's a smooth cat. That guy been smooth since we've been growing up. I ain't never seen him in media for no bull. So I was happy to see him in that. What I can say about Thor Ragnarok, I didn't like a lot of the goofiness. Like some stuff they could have made more serious, especially being on another planet. Somebody got hit with a melting stick. Like people were still dying. People got killed. Yeah. Thor won that fight. Hulk lost. Sorry, Ant. What else?
Is that it? Was that 6 for him?
That's it.
Yeah, that was a 6.
All right, stop there.
Hold on, real quick. Hey, E Money, man.
Go ahead.
Now we don't put this whole thing on pause a couple times. How you ain't do your homework and have your 27, man?
Because it don't need homework. It's what I enjoy watching.
No, what I'm saying is
he said for the whole 27 list because he said you ain't do 27.
Yeah.
You just did 10.
Well, it kind of.
I'm doing 10 because I'm late
anyway.
I was late.
Like
right.
you getting a D, you getting a 65 for this. You getting a D, man.
yeah.
Just because I didn't pick y'all movies, it's okay.
No. What I'm saying is you were supposed to have 27 through 1. You just had. You said
fine. It kind of works
all
out.
right, go ahead.
I was listen. Hold on. I got him, y'all. I was late, but if you want me to do 27 through 1. I can start at 27 right now, but I just
no. That's what Mike. That's what we said. We were.
Oh,
that's what.
All right, but I feel like a lot of these movies do not deserve ratings. Like some of these were fillers themselves. Think about it. Some of these were fillers for the storylines.
Well, yeah, the Hulk was a filler.
They were fillers for phases. So some.
No, man, I hear you, but at the end of the day, the whole thing was ranking them.
I'm not going to give a rating to Captain America 1. I hated that movie. And I love
Captain. So put it at the bottom of the list.
Right.
That's then that would 27. Be number 27.
Number 27. Iron Man 3 would be number 26.
Okay.
Shit.
I got Mike and Dave's list.
Like all I'm gonna do is just shout out like craziness about what I didn't like about them. But all right. I'll do that.
All right, well, you came on time for the top 10s. That's fine, Josh.
For the top 10s, right? Yeah.
Drum roll. 5.
Here we go.
Okay, number 5, OG Iron Man. for me, this is the origin of the entire MCU with the casting of RDJ, of course. Number 2, this came out when I was in college. This is because, I'm a big DC guy. So I'm like all Dark Knight out, because 2008, didn't really care too much about the Incredible Hulk. Sorry, Tony. Right. But I used to watch Iron Man. And then again, I didn't watch it in film. Like one of my best friends, Nate, you guys met Nate. He told me about Iron Man. So I actually bought the DVD and watched it. And ever since then, I've been watching it on repeat. Like I can watch Iron Man on repeat and eat Burger King all the time. And I absolutely love it, right? And number 3, it was an incredible start to the hero's journey of Tony Stark. I thought that was phenomenal. Building Iron Man in the cave, for crying out loud, shows the brilliance of the character and his intelligence. Graduated from MIT before he was 18. It just phenomenal. So I love that. And we also introduced to the arc reactor, which is very important for the MCU. All right, number 4, Thor Ragnarok. This is by far my favorite Thor movie. Taika Waititi balances the film with action, humor, and amazing hero's journey with Hulk and Thor. And at the same time, you have the 2 most powerful Avengers going through some shit. So I thought that was great. Number 2, Thor's arc is on the rise with a formidable foe, his sister, Hela. So I thought that was great. And it actually causes Thor and Loki to collab, right, with the help of Hulk and the Valkyrie. And, she's really formidable because she destroys Mjolnir, for crying out loud, in her bare hands. So that lets you know the threat is credible. Number 3, point 3, Thor's rebirth as the god of thunder, not just of hammers. So I thought that was great, and it sets up a lot going forward with him. Number 3, Avengers Endgame. So for me, it's definitely in my top 3 in the MCU. A wonderful send off for our heroes. R.I.P. Black Widow, Tony Stark. Again, the Russo brothers' brilliance with the time heist, action, and character development. You had so many simultaneous character development and character arcs going on at the same time that all come together at the end. So I thought that was phenomenal. Even the people who were, as they call it, blipped, their story development still had a major part. And point 3, it definitely pulls on the heartstring. I'm not going to front that Tony Stark. The funeral is heavy for me. It's deep. Like I'm not gonna say I tear up, but it's like you almost tear up every single time.
Almost, yeah.
Very, very powerful scene. Like that was incredible. I think that was very well done. Very respectful for the character, and it's deep because it's saying goodbye to a character who literally started the MCU.
Started it all. Yep.
I thought that was phenomenal. Number 2, and of course I gotta got Black Panther at number 2. Introduces the technological brilliance of Wakanda, and I love the world building, and we see how glorious Wakanda is, of course. Point number 2, and I'm sure this is why people didn't like it as a comic book movie. I know this is true for Tony Stark Jr. The political issues incorporated into the comic book genre actually reminded me a lot of X-Men, because politics is a huge part of X-Men in that parallel with things going on in Nazi Germany and Jewish people in the Holocaust and concentration camps. So I love the fact that they added a culturally relevant aspect of that within the Black community and the African American community and people from Africa, because there is some tension there in real life. So I love how Ryan Coogler incorporated that aspect into the film and in the fact that it was a superhero film. So I thought that was great. And that's another reason why I think Storm is going to be in Wakanda Forever or Black Panther 3, but I'll save that for later. Because of the X-Men connection with the political aspect. And point 3 for me, obviously, of course, Killmonger here, right? Killmonger stamped himself as one of the best villains in the MCU by far, and we saw that again in the What If series. So that he's probably one of my favorite villains of all time. And as we go to I would say the best villain of all time, number 1 is of course Avengers: Infinity War. Russo brothers masterpiece again. Right, this is by far my favorite film in the MCU. This is what officially, after I saw this movie, because it came out in sequential order, right? Black Panther came out in February, and then afterwards it was Infinity War. And after those 2 movies back to back, I was like, all right, I'm fully invested in MCU henceforth, because absolutely incredible.
Well, you remember they had Captain Marvel shoved in between Infinity War and Endgame.
Exactly.
Right. A filler.
Yeah.
Oh
But go
yeah,
ahead.
yeah.
Yeah, but he said Black Panther and Infinity War. He's not
Right.
saying after Infinity.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Oh yeah, you
I
good.
thought he said Infinity War Endgame.
And then, of course, Thanos, best MCU villain ever, and he won, and we respected him for winning and enjoy it. So it's kind of like those. It's wonderful piece of filmmaking when you have someone who's comparable to a devil, like an evil character, quote unquote evil character. But the Russo brothers, the storytellers, the script writers were able to have some empathy for Thanos. So you actually kind of feel bad for him when he has to lose Gamora, things like that. So it actually pulls you into his world. So we actually win from his perspective, even though all of our heroes lost or get blipped. So I thought that was an incredible emotional journey. And point number 3, again, once the Russo brothers did it again, such a powerful story with multiple heroes journeys simultaneously, with the best superhero arrival scene of all time with Thor and Wakanda with Stormbreaker. That to me, I can literally watch that every single day and never get tired of seeing that. That was incredible.
All right, Maine.
Let me just first say, no disrespect to anybody else in this panel, but I really, really appreciate Josh's delivery and his way of putting everything together. It's very succinct, and I appreciate your dedication, your time to putting everything in well thought out bullet points. I just want to say I appreciated hearing your take on that, man. It was really well done. So moving into my my top 5, my top 5 is actually going to be No Way Home is going to round out number 5, and here's why. No Way Home, much like and I believe my next movie, Anthony agree with this. We both come from wrestling backgrounds as far as loving wrestling, and we're big on storytelling. We're big on the beginning, the middle, and how it all ties together. And I think that the way they tied the universes together to set up yet another story, being the multiverse, I thought that they did really well with that. Everybody was expecting to see, the other 2 Spider-Man, whether we knew it or not. We knew it was going to happen. And they did a really, really good job with tying all of that together. It was surprises. It was a lot of great moments in there. Actually, one of the first movies ever that actually almost got me to tears, which is a good thing, because of the way they handled some of the story arcs. Like when I saw Andrew Garfield and everybody come through, like everybody was clapping their hands, but I was kind of like, you know what I mean? Like I was almost there, like to see all those people coming through, and I enjoyed that. But much like everybody else was saying, there was some flaws. There was some things, Aunt May, everything everybody else said, we agree, right? It wasn't hidden. I also thought the way that she died was kind of prolonged. Just the spoiler, sorry. But the way that they handled that, I was just like, you don't know? You still ain't found out? You still ain't found out? So that was one issue, but that's my number 5. Number 4 is going to be Endgame, and here's why. For that, again, the way they tore that story arc together, the way they finally rose to the occasion and defeated this mad heel, like this top tier, like, well, knowing what he is, deviant, a god, right? Damn near. They toppled this dude who had went through all these different worlds and decimated like millions upon millions, and they all got together finally. Like when he said Avengers assemble, they assembled like all of them. You know what I mean? It all came together and it felt good. All of this talk, all these things, the intricacies of the way that they told the stories and how everything built up together, the stones and all of this story that they talked about moving like all the way in the past, all came to a head. And I really appreciated the way that they did that. Of course, my man Cap held a hammer. Come on, man. Like that was cold, dog. That was cold. And then when he looked over and at Thor was like, you motherfucker. You know what I mean? Like it was a dope moment. And just they had a lot of those moments, man, to see everybody getting they just do. The femme fatales, everybody getting together and doing their thing, man. Scarlet Witch was doing her thing. Everybody showed up and showed out. And it had a great balance to it. And I pun intended, given the theme of the movie. But I really enjoyed that, man. I loved a lot about that movie. Number 3 is gonna be Thor Ragnarok. And again, Ragnarok man, we talked about that balance with Hulk, right? They got it right. They worked it out. I like the gladiator armor, the World War Hulk gladiator armor. I like the banter between him and Thor. Just like, again, these two kind of like rivals, right? And much like somebody else that I don't remember, they're two of the strongest heroes on the Avengers per se, if you want to look at it like that. And somehow they still have to find a way to team up to get through whatever they're going through. You wouldn't expect them to have adversity and have any challenges. They're Thor and Hulk. But somehow, the way this movie was laid out and drawn out, they still had something to get through. And I appreciated the way that they put that focus on it. The way they had Valkyrie show up and how her character is. She's dope. She's badass. She could hold her own in a fight. The ending sequence on the Rainbow Bridge, not the ending sequence, but the fight sequence on the Rainbow Bridge, all of that was just super dope to me. And it was visually appealing. The color popped. Everything was just very vibrant. And it just, the set pieces were just really, really well done. The writing and everything else was well done. Hela, of course, man, like when I saw her crush the hammer, I was like, yo, this chick is nuts. But like, she's mad powerful. I wonder why she was kept where she was. You know what I mean? Like, imagine you let her loose, like from the get-go. Oh, come on, it's over. And much like Mike said, I was kind of upset that they got rid of her that way. She's super strong, and they did her like that. You know, writing is writing. You got to tell the story and it has to move on. So I get it. This is where we're going to get into controversial. Even for me, it's controversial because these two are kind of sometimes interchangeable. Today, number 2 is Black Panther. Here's why. Much for some of the reasons that Josh listed. Also, Killmonger, great character, great villain. Actually, one of the reasons why my hair is the way it is right now. That's how much of an influence that movie had and that kind of impact. I loved how much of you could see that there was a moral dilemma when it came to Killmonger as a character, and he understood that there was a plight and there was a problem. He meant well. It's just that his approach wasn't exactly squeaky clean, and you could see that he was struggling with a lot of the issues that he saw around him, and all he wanted was better for his people. And it's just that he saw that nobody else was taking the actions that he was taking, and so he had to do what he had to do. And for that, I appreciate him as a villain. A lot about that movie is right. The representation, of course, the music, the soundtrack was dope. Ludwig Göransson, who also did the Mandalorian soundtrack, did handle that movie as far as the soundtrack. It was dope. The technology shown off in the movie was great. The way that they talked to each other, the way that everybody was in a position of power. They were very, very capable. Any one of them were very capable of leading at any point in time. And just the way that they had that cast and that the roles were done, the fight scenes, everything about that movie to me was chef's kiss. There could be some arguments and some things made about some of the pacing in certain areas, but I actually think that that's one of my favorite movies. Yeah, interchangeably of all of the MCU. And the last one is Doctor Strange. And here's why this is my number 1. I'm very big on metaphysical stuff. I'm very big on it. Esoteric thinking, metaphysical things, astral projection. A lot of the things that were featured in this movie, I've studied since I was like 17. So I'm very big into that.
Yeah, man.
So when I saw this and I saw that the direction they were going to take, because when you heard about the Doctor Strange movie, you ask yourself, like, what direction could you guys go in? Like, how would you portray this character and how would you portray the story? And when they went with it, everybody, of course, they labeled it now the Inception type treatment. It was well done, and I thought that it was great. It was very mind melding. It was very ancient. It was very esoteric. It's very occult. And the way that they did his origin story was a lot more well done as far as the pacing. It made sense to me. It wasn't too drawn out like some of the other origin stories, but I felt like you knew what was going on. Okay, he was this doctor. He broke his hands. He needed help. He did this. This threat happened, and it flowed in a certain way. They didn't dwell on certain things too long. They let everybody get their shine, their just due, and the way that they presented just the mystical area and the mystical arts of MCU and Marvel, which they're a ton. I think that, man, it was phenomenal, and I loved the imagery and everything else about it, man. So that's my top.
Great delivery, man, and great list.
Yes, sir.
And thank you.
I didn't think I would hear Doctor Strange number 1 on anyone's list.
Me neither.
I love the diversity.
He shocked me.
That's
number
cool.
1. That was the last movie I'd expect. Not that it was
Yeah.
whack.
And that's a
it was
great movie too,
It was a
man.
great movie,
So
but I didn't think
Absolutely.
it would be anybody's favorite. So
Yeah.
that's definitely a surprise. yo.
Yeah.
I got to rewatch Strange. That's the only one I actually seen once. Strange.
What?
I got to rewatch that. Yeah.
Man, you tripping.
Uh,
I done seen that shit like 10 times already. Because
No,
I
I saw
rewatched the
it on
MCU
Strong.
over and over and over and over and over and over. I can watch the whole
Yeah.
shit straight through. No, me
Yeah.
and them problems, but
I
Me and
got
my
you.
boy watched it on Shrooms, and it was a great experience.
I bet it was.
I bet.
It was
Hey.
great.
All right, Ant, what you got, bro? Top 5.
So here's funny what I'm gonna say. I probably only watched, I don't know, 5 of these movies more than one time. So yeah, I go to the movies, I see it, and I move on. I feel like,
Yeah.
especially because I'm a gamer too, I feel like the time I'm taking to watch a movie I've seen already, I could have watched something else, or I could have been playing a game or something. So that's why I haven't seen many of them twice. But the ones I did, like something about it, I was like the first Avengers, seen that so many times. I seen Endgame in the movie the day it came out in 3D, and then I went the very next day to watch it in Dolby Digital, just to see it again the very next day, because I feel like 3D is just not that great anymore, right? So I feel like I missed stuff because I watched it in 3D. But yeah, so yeah, I'm a little different that I don't watch movies more than once for the most
I'm actually
part.
the same
But
way, man.
Yeah,
I agree with that.
okay, yeah. I didn't want to look crazy, but I just had to say it, like, yeah. But number 5, man. So this is my top 5, and I think the super solid 5 is Winter Soldier. Winter Soldier, I need to watch again because I watched it and felt it was flawless, and I'm dying to see if I would think it's that great again. And I even had to do that with Ragnarok. I mean, I think what's synonymous between everybody is everybody end up saying they loved Ragnarok. Everybody, right?
Yeah.
So I remember I watched Ragnarok again just to see if I liked it that much because it was so good, but at the same time I felt the comedy was too much, but the comedy was great. So so going to my number 5 is Winter Soldier. This is a perfect pacing for a movie. All right, you got it reminds me of a Van Damme film, right? Well, I used to love. You had the
What
great
Van Damme
good guy. You had the
Street Fighter.
No, forget Street
God.
Fighter. I just say Bloodsport. You could say no.
Double
My
Trouble.
favorite Van Damme movie is
Double Trouble
Cyborg.
with
So
Dennis Rodman, yeah.
so Cyborg. So you got the really good guy, which is Captain America, and then he meet up with the bad guy, and the bad guy just a step above him. Then you take the rest of the movie him trying to get back to the bad guy to actually beat him, and then we just throw in the whole fact that the bad guy is his boy, his best friend. Man, the fighting scenes was great. That for me, that was a perfect good guy and a perfect villain. And even though they both don't have super powers that I love, but it wowed me that much because I love hand-to-hand combat. I love the martial arts stuff and fighting movies. But man, Winter Soldier is just amazing. And I personally don't have a flaw. Like there's not a part of that movie I don't like from the pacing or whatever. The only thing I will say is just probably because I'm more into superpowers. So other than that, that's probably the only, and that's not even an issue with this movie, but just my like is superpowers. Number 4 is the original Avengers. I end up going back to watch that to see if I thought it was better than Endgame, because in my mind I was like, yo, Endgame is great, Infinity War is great, but it can't top the original Avengers. So I personally watched that over to see if I felt that. And I will say it's great. The heroes they decided to put in that movie was the top popular heroes. That movie could almost do no wrong. It got the scene with, Loki and the puny god with Hulk slam. That's one of the most talked about scenes in MCU. Hulk was just amazing in that. I mean, I'm a Hulk fan, so when they pulled out Hulk to go, when he jumped up and punched the big flying thing, and it was just like, whoa, he had some amazing scenes. Captain America is amazing. Iron Man is amazing. Thor, I mean, dude, you just don't want anything more. So that movie was damn near flawless. That's my number 4. But number 3 is definitely, even though I'm a huge Hulk fan, and even though they pretty much Hulk was damn near not in the movie, or you didn't get a Hulk scene, but Endgame still was just over the. I mean, listen, Infinity War is great, and Mike and I always talk about this, but Endgame to me with the heist scene, them going back to different times, and I don't feel like them showing same scenes killed it or subtracted because those scenes wasn't drawn out. You got to see them, but in between those scenes, they were showing what they was doing within the scenes, which in itself was like, wow, they was able to show these scenes and write in what I'm doing as the scenes was happening. It was just, it was brilliant. Thanos is the best villain in the MCU for me. And everybody teaming up at the end. Again, I'm wowed by Captain Marvel's powers and them showing her at the end coming down the way she did. Captain America picking up the hammer. Me personally, the person who put the most fear in Thanos so far I ever seen was Wanda. Like when she went up against Thanos, like he had like fear in his eyes. Endgame is a spectacle of a movie, man. But this movie to me just trumped everything. And number 2 is going to be No Way Home. I'm not a Spider-Man fan.
Oh, God.
But cinematically on screen.
I know what number 1 is.
Cinematically on screen, I felt watching No Way Home with Andrew Garfield jumping through, and I'm like, oh my God! And then Toby, them the 3. I mean, for me, it reminded me of Days of Future Past, where they was able to take an old cast with a new cast, but for me, they did it even on another level because they took 3 different separate movie lines and merged them into one movie, made it all make sense, give you a glimpse of what could come, added Venom. Pretty much there will be an MCU Venom. They tied everything together. I didn't mind Aunt May dying. It just felt like, you know what, kind of what Mike always said, now you get to have Spider-Man be on his own, so that we got to see they put that to the side. Man, this movie just did. It was just, I was saying that it's my top Marvel comic book movie, but biasly, there is one movie that for me is the creme de la creme of the MCU that just can't be topped. I feel like this movie was flawless. As the movie started, you got the origin story. You didn't need to retell it 8,000 times. They summed it up as the credits was coming up. Guys, for me, again, I love what Josh said. Everybody's gonna have their own reasons why something is something. But my favorite comic book character, period. I don't have to be like Dave. I think maybe not. No, there is no doubt. The Incredible Hulk is my favorite comic book character, and personally, Edward Norton was the best. Bruce Banner, David Banner, whatever you want him to be.
Tuning in, everyone.
This Hulk movie personally was flawless. I don't have a problem with the pacing. I loved the beginning. It was almost like a horror movie, him chasing the guys in the factory, the scene where he's running through and the bottles are breaking. Guys, this movie for me was what I wanted for a Hulk movie after they tried with the Eric Banner one. This was, I felt they could have plucked the leader. They could have plucked any
They did.
Hulk,
they wasted him on a fucking floor. Laying out on the floor.
So they gave me the best villain that I personally would have wanted, because I got to see Hulk go hand to hand with the Abomination. Again, I'm not really into the comedy. This was before Marvel kind of got into, I always say the Transformers effect, where Transformer movie, it always had a lot of funny stuff, so you could be a family movie. This didn't have that much comedy. It was perfect for me.
Perfect.
This was my movie, man. I love No Way Home, but I'm not tied to Spider-Man as a character, and so No Way Home will be great cinematically, but Hulk is my character, and I got to see Hulk in all his glory. And then if you watch the uncut, again, this has the most uncut footage that I seen in a movie. It was like 3 hours of uncut footage, probably more. The whole thing where he put the gun in his mouth, pulled the trigger, but he can't kill himself because Hulk instantly like swallows the bullet. Dude, this movie is my ultimate #1 Marvel cinematic movie.
Really? The Incredible Hulk, though?
Incredible Hulk.
So let me ask you a couple questions, Ant, because we got to rebut some of this stuff. Let me ask you a couple questions. One.
Yes, sir.
Did you read Incredible Hulk comics when you were little, coming up? Like
I
to
did.
have him be your favorite character?
Yeah, again, he was my favorite. Let me explain. Hulk, I like powers. I like I like the whole power narrative, right?
You're going
Hulk,
to my
to
next
me,
question, actually.
Hulk just being super powerful. I always loved him for that. Every game I played, whether it's Destiny, I picked the Titan. Whether it was Anthem, I picked the Colossus. I always liked the big character. So Hulk has just always been my hulking character. So I personally was into Hulk where he barely spoke, right? That might bother some of you guys. Like Lou Ferrigno Hulk didn't damn near, I don't think he ever spoke, right?
He couldn't speak. He was deaf.
Wow. So anyway,
He really was.
So
he can still talk.
He can still talk.
Yeah.
So
back those days, his voice wasn't what it is today. Back then, it was like it was like that when he first started.
Oh, nice.
Oh, like you talking about like Rocky? Okay, got you.
So and Rocky speaks too. But yeah. So go ahead. What other questions you got, man?
So yeah, I was gonna say you like powers. Hulk's only power is strength.
Yeah, and he gets stronger and stronger and stronger and stronger and stronger.
But you read Hulk when you were little, and out of all the enemies, Maestro, A-Bomb, Leader, Abomination is the one you wanted to see more than any of them?
Yeah, because you know why? You get to see that back and forth. You get to see strength versus strength.
Two guys punch each other.
What about Red Hulk and Hulk?
Well, no, Red Hulk. I mean, it would be nice, but that was before Red Hulk. That movie came out before Red Hulk was a thing. So,
yeah.
All right.
That was it. That was my question. That was it.
Okay.
I was just wondering, like, how you arrived on one of the worst Marvel movies offerings.
Shocker. That was his #1. My mind is blown right now.
But hold up. That wasn't a shocker. If you would think, for me though.
No. I'm being sarcastic. I knew it wasn't a shocker. I'm saying my mind is not blown. Chris.
All right.
Back he thought you wasn't.
So I don't have the memory of Mr. Savant the Levant. I don't have the charisma of Mr. Cowboy. I don't have the elegance and clarity of Maine and Josh. I was about to go the knowledge of Dave, and I don't have the passion like E-Money. My list is just going to be simple, okay?
All right.
Number 5 is Infinity War.
Hold up, real quick.
Nothing wrong with simple, bro.
Hold up, real quick. That was beautifully well spoken, man. How you broke down all of our attributes. That was awesome.
Yeah, that itself was eloquent. So you kind of contradicted yourself in a great way.
That was from the heart, right? That was
like when I see something new, I got to talk about it, and sometimes I can't put things into like big descriptions of why. Right?
Go ahead.
But,
So if you were to add an attribute of yourself, if I were to add one, I would say you have a certain level of sincerity. So we'll add that. So we can absolutely put you in the Avengers too.
Oh, I appreciate that. It's nice. All right. So Infinity War is my number 5. It's in my top 10 because that's Infinity War and Endgame. I mean, they're interchangeable to me too. But so okay, my number 4 is Iron Man. Iron Man is what started it all for me, right? I wasn't really into Marvel as much. As a matter of fact, when I heard that the Iron Man movie was coming out, I was like, "Oh, this is gonna be terrible." You know what I mean? Like, because if you look at the original Iron Man comics and his suit there, and then when I saw the prototype suit when they brought that, when they previewed that, I was like, "Whoa, that looks dope as hell." So Iron Man's what started it all for me. That's why it's in my top 5. Number 3 is Guardians of the Galaxy, and the reason for that is I knew nothing about the Guardians going in. I came out loving it so much. The soundtrack, Star-Lord like one of my favorite characters. It just had everything for me, you know, and I'm a Star Wars fan. I love that intergalactic battles and stuff like that. Their camaraderie between all of them was amazing, you know. Number 2 is Avengers Endgame. That finale, man, that was probably one of the best movies I've ever seen. But number 1 is Captain America Winter Soldier. That is above and beyond any other of the movies out there. It was so good. I mean, the build up to Winter Soldier, you know, how he was, just the whole thing, man. And I absolutely love that movie. I could watch that one over and over and over and over again. That will probably forever be my favorite for a long time. But we got a lot of movies coming, so yeah, I'm gonna wrap.
Now hold up. What was your 5? I feel like was that all 5?
Number 4?
Infinity War, Iron Man, Guardians, Endgame, and Winter Soldier.
Okay.
Okay.
Has anybody played the Guardians of the Galaxy game, by the way? Because it was like mad sleeper. Like it was ridiculously good.
I heard it was great. Everybody who played it said it was awesome.
Okay.
I don't like games where I can't pick. I gotta stay with one character.
Okay.
I agree.
Okay.
I'm not spending my buck on that.
Fair enough.
Dave, 5.
All right. Number 5, Black Panther.
Oh boy.
Let's go, Dave. Let me see what you got, brother.
Number 5, 4, 3, and 2. If I shook them up right now and relayed them out in a different order, it would still work. It would still fit.
That's right. Talk that.
All right. This was like the hardest decision to make. But Black Panther had an excellent story. Character development was off the charts for literally almost everyone involved. By the end of Black Panther, I felt like I knew almost every one of them. Like I felt like I seen like 3 movies worth of their development. Also, that's what Black Panther.
Hey, hold on. Hey, Dave, that's what Tyler Perry do. He does a really good job at character development. He make you feel those characters. That's what Tyler Perry do.
Yo, okay. You know, Edward Norton's character going to be recast, right, in the MCU film. Okay, so moving on. Yeah, so it was a little bit of bias, like I was saying, because Black Panther growing up was one of my favorite comic book characters. Period.
Correct.
This version doesn't seem like he has a problem like killing somebody and just offing them, which I love because that's the way the comic book version is as well. The villain was top notch. Always good when you find yourself actually siding with the villain on some points. Definitely hated to see him die, like Killmonger. You know, but in the comics, death is just a break. It ain't a certain.
Go ahead.
Well, Claw's definitely dead, but Killmonger's probably still alive. Just throwing it out there.
Josh and I talked about that. Yeah,
Killmonger.
Really? He got shot to death. No.
Which one?
He just got stabbed.
What I heard, his part in the TV show is going to be he's going to be in that spirit world.
Multiverse.
And he's going to be guiding the new Black Panther.
Basically, a Ghost Force. Yeah.
Yeah, pretty much.
Yeah. No, thank you. He got to come back.
Anyway, Chadwick Boseman set the bar so high for anyone in the future to take over this role. The final large set piece in the movie was amazing. I love those. The large battle.
Yo, hold on. I gotta stop. That was the worst CGI in the whole MCU. The rhinos look.
Oh, I'm not talking about CGI. I'm talking about it was.
Oh, okay.
He didn't say CGI. He said set piece.
I didn't see CGI. I meant like the fighting, the battle, the hand to hands.
Okay, all right.
The Dora Milaje going against Killmonger and wiping.
That's what. I didn't say this in my take. That's what broke the Lord for me. The CGI in that third set piece. Looks so bad. But anyway, go ahead.
How do you know that wasn't on purpose? See, that's when my brain started going.
All right. At any rate, So and then the final battle, obviously with Black Panther and Killmonger, that was one of the better hand-to-hand fight scenes I've seen in the MCU. Even though it ended too quick for me, I think that fight should have went a little bit longer, but it's whatever. Number 4.
Hey Dave, real quick. I know some people who say that the last scene bothered them because it looked like 2 of the same people just fighting each other, and it was real dark.
It did because they fought in a dark area. Yeah, I had that problem too, but I knew the yellow suit was Killmonger, so that's all I really needed to know.
Gotcha.
Yeah, their suits are glowing, Tony.
Right.
Number 4, Avengers Endgame, yo. So this was the end of the Infinity Saga. Another movie with a packed cast, but somehow didn't feel bloated in almost any way. Just felt kind of important. It did move a little slow in some areas, but it felt like every scene, even the slow ones, were important to the overall story. Yeah. The final fight scene was amazing. The death toll to stop Thanos was just heartbreaking. Natasha and Tony died. You had Hulk's permanent injury. Thor's depression. The return of all the heroes. To this day, hearing Sam say "on your left," I don't know. That shit just makes your hair stand up because literally it all felt like it was lost. Like, yeah. So, and then of course, you got the iconic scene of Cap wielding the hammer. That'll never be forgotten. It's one of those "where were you when this happened" moments. The Russos are just too good at their jobs. Sorry, they just are.
I feel they're fans. That's why they're so nice.
Yeah. Number 3, Thor Ragnarok. This one was flirting with number 1 and number 2.
Wow.
It was flirting with number 1 and number 2, but it ended up falling to number 3 because this is the movie that turned around the whole Thor franchise, and it showed Chris Hemsworth that Thor can actually have a personality. It doesn't always have to be just doom and gloom. It felt like, and it didn't feel like just a Thor movie. It felt like the adventures of Thor and Hulk. That's what it felt like to me. So it underscored how much Mark Ruffalo actually stole the show. Valkyrie was also an amazingly welcome surprise. Good amount of everyone's favorite villain, Loki. Another movie that moved with a great pace. Loaded with comedy, action, major ramifications for the MCU. We're all on the table there, especially with the death of Odin, the destruction of Mjolnir, and the emergence of the subsequent death of Hela, which I still don't think she's dead, by the way. That's another one. Tossing in Loki, inadvertently setting off the entire Infinity War with the death of the Space Stone in this movie. And it's not one of the best, but it'd also be one of the most important MCU movies to date, if it's not the best. Number 2, Avengers Infinity War. This is the movie that I think started to bring all the movies, every one of them together. All right. If all the other movies were in the same cupboard, this mixed them all into the same bowl. All right. Here you got the Avengers meeting the Guardians, Doctor Strange meeting the Avengers, Thanos meeting them all and dusting half of them with relative ease. To me, this movie was more Thanos' hero's journey. To steal a line from Josh, this was the hero's journey of Thanos. And I don't think any villain ever in the history of any movie ever got such character development, where they actually got to go out and win in their first full feature-length movie. But he did. The movie moves at a breakneck pace. Another movie where every scene's integral to the story. The death toll on this movie also set apart all the others. At the time, it felt like the flick had real stakes. And it felt like some of these heroes weren't going to come back. I thought when they got dusted, I thought that they couldn't close contracts with some of those actors, so they decided we're just going to go ahead and just get rid of you this way. That being said, the cliffhanger ending was icing on the cake. I don't think any movie I ever watched left me wanting more like this, or that much emotionally wrecked. Like, I think I might have told y'all this, maybe not. When we left Infinity War, man, dude, I sat in my car for like 20 minutes just trying to contemplate what the hell I just saw, right? So when I'm getting ready to go leave, I look over and this dude who came out with me sitting in the car next to me doing the same shit. They didn't even look like he was talking. They looked like he was just sitting in there. 3 motherfuckers just sitting in the car. That's the impact that Infinity War had. Number 1 movie, Captain America 2, Winter Soldier. If there can be a perfect movie somewhere in the MCU, this was it. All right, the movie had it all. Great writers who came up with an exciting story that never slowed down. Every scene had a purpose. Absolute masterpiece of directing. They don't go too overboard with superpowers, which I liked because it kept the movie somewhat grounded in realism, but you still knew you were watching a superhero flick. There's no laser eyes and killer robots. It was grounded enough where you didn't feel like it was unbelievable, but you still knew you were watching a superhero movie. So Scarlett and Chris's chemistry is off the charts. It's got deep espionage, action, a superb villain who actually goes on to become one of the better heroes in the MCU. The fight sequences, the fight in the street with Winter Soldier and Cap, to me, is the best hand-to-hand fight scene in all of the MCU. That's number 1. Number 2, the elevator scene. The elevator scene, there's no scene in the MCU that says shit's about to go down more Then when Cap was like, before we get started, and then y'all want to get out. So that's when I knew, like, oh shit, this shit's about to go down. I mean, this movie, there's no bad thing to say about it. It even started off great. Like,
all right,
you got the introduction of the new Captain America, the Falcon. You got the man. Listen, but I could watch this movie, finish it, and then watch it again right afterward. Yeah.
All right, so that's all right. Eight. You want to give your last 5, or you be quick with yours?
Yeah, I'm gonna give my last 5, and E is for the brothers. I respect all the people that take their time and are very intelligent with their answers and stuff like that. But I'm representing the brothers from the streets that get into this, that don't want to say all that shit.
All right.
So, with that being said, my number 5, I have 2 movies in my number 5 spot: the original Avengers and No Way Home. Because I didn't want to add No Way Home up any higher because I'm not sure if that's going to still be my top Spider-Man movie if he continues. So I didn't want to put too much pressure on that. But the Avengers, come on, that's the first time I saw them together. That's, seeing attitudes collide, seeing characters collide, seeing stories combined, seeing them fight together. I needed all that. Not even knowing that in the first movie, in the first Avenger movie, me not even knowing that was Thanos. You get what I'm saying? When I first saw it, I just thought that was aliens attacking. It was just a race coming down, like, oh yeah, we need them stones. But I did not know that was Thanos actually orchestrating that until the very end. So I thought that was good. And I watched, and again, Iron Man put his life on the line in that movie too. He almost died in that too, carrying a nuke. You know what I mean? So a lot of stuff has been repeated and done. So and they laid the groundwork for it. Loki talking to Black Widow, I thought that was great acting. Anybody that can make me zoom in like that, and like I really thought Natasha was crying because of what Loki was saying until she flipped the script on him and had him telling everything. So I thought that's why Avengers is on my number 5 list. My number 4 would be Endgame. Number 4 is Endgame because Endgame was wonderful. Thanos came back. I love the fights. I love that in war. I love when all the heroes get together. The time heist was all right. I felt like certain parts of the time heist I could have did without. But I mean, I know even the thing with Ant-Man and the rat doing the little whatever the rat did. Like I felt some of that stuff. Come on, y'all could have did something better than that. They do better writing. So I don't know why they couldn't do better than that. But now we about to get to one of my jewels. One of my jewels is my number 3 is Black Panther. I love Black Panther. Number 1, I watched my son dress up as Captain America for Mad Halloweens. When Black Panther came out, he deaded that shit. He was straight to Black Panther. I watched my son love and
that's awesome.
It just made me think like, wow, he's not a sidekick. Like I'm when I'm in this, but there's heroes I really like that aren't sidekicks that are African American.
It's funny. My nephew was Black Panther this Halloween too.
So, that's dope.
Yeah, dope. Yeah, that character is that's a great character. I love that movie. To me, it gave me like a family orientated, and I love the fact that Killmonger felt how a lot of people feel, and they just don't speak it. If you're gonna have all that technology, you're gonna want to help all your people. You're gonna want to help them, especially from oppressions and all that other stuff. I felt every bit of Killmonger. I felt every bit of that. If you didn't feel it, you lied, or you just ain't want to open your eyes to it. But I felt every bit of where he came from. So having a villain like that touched me too. That touched my heart too. T'Challa was great in it. Yes, the CGI was bugged. I felt like the CGI wasn't done good on the movie. I want to say, like, a lot of people want to say it's the director's fault, but I honestly think it was bigger than that. But the movie still did what it did. It did numbers. It outsold.
The director doesn't handle special effects.
It's not
special
fault,
effects department handles that.
Right, but doesn't he handle the whole thing as a whole? Like,
editor.
You watch it.
That's the editor.
Oh, okay, so the editor.
Yeah.
All right. So the editor.
The budget. You don't got so much money or whatever like that. That's the problem for the VFX.
Editor in chief.
What's that? Ant?
No, I said editor in chief.
Right.
Yeah. Okay. All right. So now my number 2 is Civil. No. My number 2 is Infinity War, and the only reason number 2 is Infinity War is because I didn't like how they did the Black Order. I know damn well the Black Order is tougher than that in the comic books. You're not going to tell me some regular humans swooping down with Cap is going to defeat them and beat them up in a train station just like that.
Point.
When Scarlet Witch and a robot, and a vibranium robot had a hard time. So that was my little thing about in Infinity War. I love the fact Thanos won though. Yes, that was incredible for me. That showed that villain knew what he was doing. He had a plan. He executed it no matter who got in his way. I love the Iron Man and Doctor Strange and Spider-Man meeting the Guardians the way they did on that planet and working together. I love that too. I think that was great. Seeing Doctor Strange fight Thanos, love that. I told you one of my favorite scenes is realizing Doctor Strange was sitting in Infinity War on Saturn holding the rocks just like Thanos was when he was waiting for them to waiting for the big three to walk down on him. He looked at it, he was like, oh, so you're a prophet. He was throwing the stones just like Thanos. He did everything and mimicked him. And I guess a lot of people ain't put that together, but boy,
I gotta go back and watch that part now.
Yeah, go watch that part. Go watch that part. He's doing exactly what Thanos did in Endgame. Because remember, he saw the vision first, so he saw Endgame before it happened. I think he watched it what
13 million
times or something.
13 million. Yeah.
No, 14 million.
14 million
605.
times. Right. Right. Crazy.
I gotta discuss this for a second too when we done with their list. I gotta discuss that scene. But go ahead.
All right.
So that scene? Okay. All right. And my number 1 is Civil War because Black Panther was ruthless. Y'all talking about all this fighting with the Winter Soldier. Y'all talking about this fighting with the Winter Soldier and Cap on a bridge, but my man broke the Winter Soldier down like it was nothing. He almost killed him twice. Literally. Almost ripped his throat out. Man, come on. Civil War was where it was at. Number 2 was Civil War. Spider-Man was in it. They introduced Spider-Man. It actually showed you that Spider-Man was stronger than Captain America.
I saw all this too.
We've been through that. We've been through that though. Everybody.
Yeah, a lot of people been through that, but some people don't know that though. You can say that, but there's
who don't know that
right now that I know. There are fans.
Cat can't throw a car at you. Spider-Man can throw 2 cars at you. Like it is.
We're gonna finish breaking it down. E.
All right.
Sorry, man. Thanks. Sorry.
Nah, you good. But there's just people that don't understand that, man. But yeah, so Spidey came in. I love the fact that when he fought Falcon and Winter Soldier, it even showed like Falcon is not to be messed with. Yeah, Falcon don't have the powers, but Falcon was still able to handle and stick with him with the gadgetry. Straight up. Like he what he had webbed and he started talking and he used the what was that what's that Red Wing? He used Red Wing to snap the reason his spider sense ain't go off because he wasn't in danger. He just used Red Wing to pull him out. So I thought all that broke down certain things and certain powers and in the way they used it. And I remember they was like, "What's that?" And Falcon was like, "Everybody has a gimmick," and everybody does have a gimmick in the Marvel universe. Your outfit, your superpowers, that's all the gimmick. Like, so I love it. And Civil War, I understand what y'all saying about the super soldiers at the end and Zemo should have let them out, but you guys are completely forgetting about what Zemo stand for. He don't stand for none of that. He ain't stand for it even in the new episodes of Falcon and the Winter Soldier. He don't stand for that superhero shit. So to say that he would release some super soldiers to fight them for what? He don't stand for it.
He worked with 2 superheroes in Captain America.
And what did he do? And what did he do when he found out them people were making super soldiers?
Yeah, but he was working with them.
But what was he?
But he did give a speech to him about how he hates superpowers, though, in the show.
Thank you.
It was a means to an end.
He ain't saying he hated everybody though.
Wait, hold
Captain America, he had no problem with. Remember, he said there's never been another Steve Rogers.
Right, that's the point. He said, but everybody else, he don't trust.
He don't trust. There's not another one. So
hold up, E. Question. In Civil War, you wouldn't have wanted to see Bucky, Iron Man, and Cap go head to head against 6 super soldiers?
I think it would have drained. It would have been a good fight scene. Yeah, we could say it would have been a good fight scene, but it's not showing you you're skipping the part of what it was also trying to show you. It was also trying to show you how Black Panther was and how his technology is and how he's smarter than a lot of them. You get what I'm saying? Like you would have did they would have had to fight. Then what? Black Panther would have snuck in there and he would have had to help fight him too.
He could have joined the fight too. He could have fucked them up too.
Yeah, no, I don't think he had a different mission at that time.
Thank you.
He was a one-track mind.
Yo, one track, right? He flew right past Tony Stark's shit. Tony Stark ain't even see the man. Tony Stark technology didn't even scan Black Panther.
Yeah, I agree with that.
That was wicked. That was wicked, man.
That's the best Black Panther to me. Civil War.
Right.
Russo's did a good job, honestly.
Correct.
And
Correct.
You walked away, Dave, earlier when I said this. I said, for me, Russo directed Spider-Man better than John Watts did in Civil War.
And y'all skipping the fight about when they was doing the running scene through traffic, and Black Panther hit the bike.
Yeah,
Mom.
I love that scene.
I
told you I love that
scene was
scene, yo.
ridiculous,
Almost all these
man.
movies I can watch again.
Sliding down the building, Cap chasing him, Cap trying to catch up. Like, come on, that was crazy. That was crazy.
Can you imagine that Black Panther and Killmonger? Oh man.
Right, exactly. What? Oh my god.
Is Black Panther your favorite character?
Yeah, he's one of them. Yes, he is.
Okay.
Correct.
All right.
I told you it's Black Panther, Blue Marvel. Like I am a fan of seeing, like, because I know how the world really is. So us knowing how the world really is, we need other superheroes. We need more. We need more. We need a lot of representation and not just sidekicks. We need straight up heroes that step up the ball just like the rest of them.
I agree.
That can carry their own franchise just like the rest of them, not just one. Black Panther should not be the only one carrying the franchise right now.
But that's why you got Blade coming out.
Facts.
Yep.
Blade's another one who went way too long, but he already had his own franchise.
Yeah, I was about to say that.
Right.
Yeah.
Who?
Blade.
Oh, yeah. They right about Blade.
All right. So but hopefully they do Blade well. All right, I'm gonna give my top 5 to wrap this thing up, man. So so Avengers Endgame was number 6. I told y'all before. 5 is OG Avengers 1. I watched that recently, and Avengers 1. You all made a lot of points, which I didn't make. One point I'm gonna try to say that was peak Loki to me. Like that Loki in Avengers 1, was so good. He was the acting from Tom Hiddleston was amazing. He was better in Avengers 1 than he was in any of the Thor movies to me. Like he was, the way he took over. The way he took over Dr. Selwick, with Hawkeye, the conversation with Fury in the beginning, like he said with Natasha, like just read on your ledger. The thing with him and Coulson, again, that was peak Loki. Loki was confident as hell, and all his imagery. You start to see the seeds lay between the battle between Cap and Tony when they're inside the room, and the Tesseract takes over and stuff like the Tesseract. The other stone takes over, the Mind Stone takes over a little bit. That was dope. When Tony jumps out the window and the suit comes on him, man, that was a dope scene, bro. Oh my god,
that's what I'm saying.
Well, he got thrown
out the window. You're right. Yeah, by peak Loki, exactly, whatever like that. So
peak Loki, right?
I thought that was pretty good. Hawkeye, we just seen that scene play again in the show. He's trying to, even though he only got the arrows, he doing his thing. And like Dave said, man, when they all come down together, that's pretty cool. So it's a lot of that is good at the end of the day. Avengers 1, it's just great overall. Like that was probably Josh Whedon's his masterpiece, I'll say.
Pretty much.
Iron Man 1, number 4. Iron Man 1 is just like it's like, first of all, to start with him getting kidnapped and almost killed in the cave, and to get his way out just by, again, like I said, with a box of scraps, as Obadiah said, right? And he built the whole damn Iron Man suit to get himself out of there. So it's almost like 2 movies to me, Iron Man 1, because you got that whole part where he's kidnapped and figuring out how to get out, and then he comes back and decides to actually be Iron Man and improve on the suit and the technology. You see him and Pepper's flirtations that's starting to go forward. Again, I'm sorry, Don Cheadle. I like Terrence Howard as Rhodey better, so I'm gonna go with that Iron Man 1 more. I thought Terrence Howard was perfect casting. Don Cheadle's a great actor. Don't get me wrong.
Terrence Howard was, but Terrence Howard, him and Robert Downey going bump.
I know what happened, but I'm saying I like that. That's why that's in my top.
I agree.
And then because it was early MCU, it's more of an adult film than all of them. Yo, he actually has like a one night stand and shit in the movie, right? You know, in this movie and stuff like that. Where he wakes up and the girl's wearing his shirt. You don't see that shit no more. I mean, I guess Eternal's trying it now, but you haven't seen that shit in a long time. And Tony, it's just Tony, man. And like Josh said, he's the godfather of the MCU. The Iron Man 1's in there for me. Only flaw is the Ironmonger versus Iron Man. That's the flaw.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Yeah. That's why I like Iron Man 2 more.
Nah, Whiplash was not. He was worse than Ironmonger.
I mean,
I'm
that's
talking
fair.
about like seeing him and Don Cheadle do their thing together. Like,
I
I'm a big fan.
Go ahead, Josh.
Of 2 Iron Man.
Oh yeah, I was just going to add to your point, Mike. I think that was in terms of film, I think it was just a representation of Tony's internal struggle with capitalism, and that's what Obadiah represented. So the Ironmonger, you know, he was just fighting that, and then that's why he wanted, you know, that's all I would say.
Yeah, okay. Number 3. Now, top 3, these are almost flawless to me when you get to this level and stuff like that. Number 3, Guardians 1. I love Guardians 1, man. I love, like, the introduction of them, how they come together, it's just perfect to me. Again, this 80s soundtrack is just, of course, that's amazing. But the whole part when they're on, I forget when Gamora goes after the stone, and then you see Rocket and Groot there too, and you see Rocket crazy ass guns and shit he pulling out and whatnot, and then Gamora, you start to see her skills. It's pretty cool. Or even the beginning scene with the orb when Star-Lord
fighting over the orb. Yeah.
When Star-Lord gets when they're fighting over it, that's pretty dope. The jail scene was dope. Nobody talks about it no more, but them in jail and the whole jail aspect, I thought that was pretty cool too.
Because Groot run that.
and then them escaping from jail. So it's a lot of like, get this, escape from here, blah blah blah. The Star-Lord, them kind of becoming a team, and then that whole scene where they're all the ships come together, and you see how they make the little shield as like a beehive joint. Oh, that was dope as hell, yo. I gotta give it to that. So Guardians up there for me, man. And it's like the pacing is good too. But speaking of pacing, Avengers Infinity War is number 2 for me. I think that movie has perfect pacing. They go from one person scene to the next, to the back one. There's no lulls in this movie. It's enough action, but it's also good story at the same time for me. A lot of stuff you guys already spoke about. Ebony Maw, his lines were perfect the whole time with him and Doctor Strange in the beginning. Yes. I mean, I get your point about the powerful Eve, but I'm talking about the
come on, they got
the
rid
lines.
of
well delivered.
Well powerful as hell or whatever like that. Like,
he was chipping a lot of people though.
Yeah, he was.
Absolutely.
Joke.
It's Ebony Maw.
Yeah, no joke. But then my part in that movie, once again, the Russos direct Spider-Man better than John Watts, is when Spider-Man's on the bus and you see his arm, his hair flare.
That was official.
And then he comes, and then Iron Man about to get hit by Cold Obsidian, and then like you said, you see Spider-Man's strength more in the Russo's movie, and he catches his arm like, what's going on with Stark? Like, he's so fucking strong and shit. But I think that was dope. And then of course, like you all said, Thanos won, and then Thanos lines. The writing for Thanos was so perfect. Every single line had a purpose.
Conviction.
Delivered so well. And I said it yesterday on the show, like, hope they remember you. You know what I mean? like it's so bad. How you getting beat up while somebody like talking smack to you at the same time? Like, I've never seen that before. Like, I think that was amazing.
What's really crazy is that they let Josh Brolin ad-lib a lot of that shit.
Yo, that shit was incredible.
They let him ad-lib a lot. They gave him so much
range to say what he wanted. When they get the free stuff, free range, they gave.
And honestly, and then he's at perfectly balanced. Like, I think a little too earlier, stuff like that. And honestly, you see in Hawkeye, like, Thanos was right. Like, just like Killmonger, you can make a point. Thanos, he wasn't a crazy madman. His thought process was correct and whatnot. At the end of the day. So I gotta say, like, and then like Josh said, the whole Wakanda scene, the Wakanda forever, the Thor coming down, them being desperate, like all that, and then he won, and you left like Dave said.
And you know what's crazy? Now that you said that, you just made me think. With Thanos, like, Thanos is smart. He's real smart. We're looking at him as a villain, But was he doing?
They don't smart as shit.
Don't do it, E.
Yeah.
Don't do it, E.
No, I'm gonna be real. Was he doing what? Was he doing what the Eternals should have been doing? Was he stopping what the Eternals was just now starting to stop?
E. By the way, that was Claudia's biggest point. She was like, "Yo, that's what should have happened."
He's an Eternal, just a deviant.
He's an Eternal, and I remember him being on Titan. So that means his brother was on Titan.
Yeah.
And I think taking half of the population stopped all that energy from forming that celestial.
And then by him
did you see?
I'm telling you.
Hold on.
Yo,
and then I'm doing it with the stones. It wasn't like it was. Hold on. Then I'm doing it with the stones. It wasn't like he said, "Okay, you and you, y'all gonna die." It was just like,
random.
Random acted good. Yeah.
Hey, I gotta run, you guys. Thank you so much for having me again. I know what your number one is, Mike, already. So
yeah.
We shared the list.
So,
guys,
thanks,
I love
Chris.
all of you. Have a wonderful day.
Peace, man.
Hey, Chris.
Thank you.
Chris.
Take care.
Chris. See you, buddy. Yeah. So, and then like I said at the end, he won. Like Dave said, like, what the fuck? I saw kids in the movie theater crying when people were getting dusted because they're losing their heroes and stuff like that. Like, and 2 years ago, Josh, me, Tony, and Chloe, we did a watch along on Netflix for this movie. And that was 2020. And that was 2 years after it came out. And even then I was like, yo, this movie's so fucking good. Like, just watching it again, I was just like, yo, this is so good. And it's like, I'm trying to find a flaw, but it's very, very hard. Like the way they did it.
No hope.
Huh?
No hope.
He was in the
flaw.
Hawk was in Infinity War. What are you talking about?
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
He got his ass whooped. You don't remember?
Nah, that don't count.
Anthony forgets
My bad.
stuff that don't jive with him. He just
sorry. No hope moment. My bad. No hope moment. That's what I meant to say.
Hope moment in every movie, bro. Like,
hey, if the hope's in it, and you don't have a hope moment, you lose the points.
Moment. Him getting his ass beat.
Anyway,
He got a straight body slam.
It was a Hawk moment.
All right.
And Wakanda, man, when they're fighting Thanos' crew, what are they called? The Raiders? The
Outriders.
Outriders. Yeah. And then Wanda comes down and does her thing, and Okoye's like, "What the hell she doing up there the whole time for?" Like,
Right, that's what everybody else was thinking. Like, where the hell she been this whole time? Yeah.
Right. Like,
Well, you saw why though.
Yeah, exactly. Like
Yeah.
I thought that was hope. That was the. I go on and on and on. But Infinity War, everywhere, every scene, like they played it well. The introductions were well. Only thing was dumbass Peter Quill, but then against his girl, so I saw the emotions too. You know what I'm saying? So
Nah, forget that. He dumb as hell.
Peter Quill was dumb as hell in that part.
This is what I wanted to discuss.
And
Go
then
ahead, finish your number one.
Yo.
Your number one.
Hold on. And then the Strange versus Thanos is one of the best things in the MCU. That's pretty good too. So I got to throw that in there. Number one, of course.
Oh my god!
For the third time, Captain America: The Winter Soldier. I gotta say that too. They've it all up already, so I gotta give much. But to me, it is flawless. I can't find a single flaw in that movie. I like Natasha being there. I don't know who did, but I like Natasha being there. I thought that that she kind of, you know what I like? I like the fact that, like, so we saw Captain America, which was him in the 40s. Then we saw Avengers. He was here, but as soon as he woke up, it was like, yo, let's go to war, Cap. Now it's kind of like him living. He had an apartment and shit next to Sharon. He was trying to learn about today's time. He had a whole list and shit. Like you said, he was going to see what's his name? Falcon or whatever, Sam for the Army counseling and stuff like that. I like Robert Redford. Oh my God. He was dope as the villain in there and stuff like that. Then you got Sam Jackson, who was also in the movie, you know, doing his thing. Like Dave said, the elevator was crazy. The fights on the street was crazy. Him jumping over the fucking helicarrier, right? And then taking the 3 fucking engines out was incredible, yo. Like every scene. And then Anthony said it earlier, like you saw in the beginning where Bucky caught the shield. You was like, what the fuck?
Yeah.
Right? Like that. And then their fight scene at the end. Like, again, I think Captain America Winter Soldier. And then, like Josh said, the story, the espionage, it kind of like what Jason Bourne reached the MCU to me. Like it was everything. I can't find. I can watch that, like Dave said, over and over and over again. So that's my.
But like I said, watching that, it reminds me. It just makes me think how strong and powerful Black Panther was. Because
oh my God. Let me ask y'all a question. I want to say one thing real quick. So I want to say. one thing real quick. So The Incredible Hulk actually is the movie I've seen the most out of all of them. I watched it many times, but that's bias anyway. But if you was able to combine Infinity War, if Infinity War and Endgame was one movie, would that be your number one?
Yes.
No.
No, it would be too long.
No. Yeah, no.
I would say it's too long.
If they could take shit out, you know,
right. I'm saying if that was a complete movie, because we all know they pretty much split that up, right? But if that was a complete movie, like if they was able to work it into, let's say, a 2 hour and 55-minute movie that a lot of us are gonna go see. So if they was able to
they made it like Zack Snyder's Justice League,
movie. There you go.
I could, that would be my best movie.
I agree.
I still don't think it would top Winter Soldier.
I think it would be a
solid 100% number 2, but I think Winter Soldier literally over any movie ever made.
It might be 1 and 1A at that point. Winter
You know
Soldier's
why?
so
Because
fucking good, bro.
Right.
Yeah, it might be a 1A, 1B situation. He's right. Yeah. Thinking about it now,
I think it don't take that long to get to the point.
So I think this would. So you guys know how much I like No Way Home, but I think this probably would have topped it because you would have had so many, like, so in this movie, you would have had that on your left. You would have also had Thor coming down with the hammer. You would have had all of that in one movie, the Wakanda Forever at the end. It would have been so over the top. You would have had him win, Thanos win, and they go cut his head off, and he come back, and you got the time heist. Like, you would have had all of that, and I think
that's a lot of moving parts. That's a lot of moving
right,
and that's a lot of stuff on the cutting board scene. Like, you got to cut a lot out for each at 2.5 or 250.
Those 2 movies.
Okay, not 250. Okay, so like 4 hours, like the Snyder Cut was.
Like the Snyder Cut.
Then you lose. Even then, you think you could cut an hour and a half out of those 2 movies and be all right?
You can, bro.
So then, in Anthony's defense, what if you did that? What if you had the separate movies, but then make a Snyder Cut version of those 2 combined? You have the 2 existing movies, but then you also have a cut.
I can take out the whole scene where Tony goes to 1970 and talk to his dad. That all can go.
Right.
Okay, so
how he got the Tesseract, how he got more.
Bro,
how you gonna explain that?
You go back and watch it. You know the movie.
Bam, so look at this.
No, but he talk to his dad and shit. What we got to do that to get the clip particles and shit. That's
I thought that was a dope scene. I ain't gonna lie. I thought that was a dope scene.
It's not necessary, though. Is what I'm saying, though.
You think both of them together would be a good movie?
It could be gone. It's not necessary. Is what
I didn't
think
so
either. Amazing movie.
Good.
Yeah, I see what you're saying, but they still have to have him go back to the 70s to get the pin particles.
That's why they have the 2 standalone movies, though.
Yeah,
to me, he's talking about cutting out the conversation with his father. Right?
Oh, okay. Well, I'm just saying it would be good to have those.
No, I think what Mike is saying is you could fine tune some stuff. There is listen. For every scene, it depends on how much do it show me go in there. It's like, all right, when I first started doing content creation, all my videos was like a half an hour long. I'm recording me walking everywhere. Right. That was like, oh wait, I could clip that. Then it's like, bam, I'm somewhere. There's a lot of like when Tony was going back in the day, like you could have cut up a lot of stuff. I see what Mike is saying. You could just fine tune some stuff.
I don't know if you can fine tune an hour and a half.
I see what he's
and not lose.
Right, I see what he's saying, but I feel like it being 2 different style of movies in the first place, like that's why we like it so much. Is because
I agree with you too, because if you're making one movie, you don't get the
you won't get the
as Thanos winning for a whole year. Wonder how they're going to win again.
And you know what? If it was one. Hold on, real quick, Dave. If it was one whole movie, you still ain't get no damn Hulk in it anyway. So whatever.
Oh my God. Go ahead.
Go ahead, Dave.
Between you and Hulk and Evil Black Panther, I don't know who's worse. Whatever. But go ahead.
Who the hell is still 2022 calling Star-Lord stupid?
What happened?
Who calling Star-Lord stupid?
Well, Josh just said
Infinity War. Somebody said something about Star-Lord, like, Star-Lord.
Oh, they were saying no at the end because he hit Thanos, because he woke Thanos up. He hit him with the gun.
All right, whoever said that, I need y'all to think about something. Doctor Strange already saw 14,605 ways.
That's not the point.
From that moment, how that shit could have played out. All right, them getting the glove was one of the ways they died.
Yeah, but you're talking hindsight, right? Star-Lord didn't know that.
No. What, Doctor Strange did know that. Doctor Strange foresaw all that before Thanos showed up.
That's not the point, Dave. You're speaking.
Yes, it is,
know the
bro.
answer. It's Star-Lord. Listen, you're speaking of hindsight, right? But
I'm going
Star-Lord
to
didn't know
explain.
that.
Let me finish
his
explaining
actions Go ahead.
No, let me finish explaining it first. He sat there and watched 14,605 ways from the moment they were sitting there how it could have ended up in a victory, and only one way ended up in a victory, right?
Okay.
So it wasn't the way of them getting the glove off Thanos. That wasn't the way. They would have still fucking died.
But you're speaking from Strange perspective.
Yeah, that doesn't matter. Yeah, Dave, that don't matter.
Right. So that's what I'm saying. In hindsight, as I said, in 2022,
I just said
Star-Lord?
I just said that. That's how you speak of hindsight.
Yeah.
Did I say that? Yeah, you speaking of
Yeah,
hindsight.
Star-Lord did exactly what he was supposed to do. Star-Lord really saved all of us by hitting Thanos.
Yeah, but
because had they got the gloves, they would have got wiped.
We're talking about what Star-Lord knew in his action, right?
Yeah, you got to think about it. You got to think about it.
At that second, Star-Lord was dumb.
Right.
But in the overall hindsight, Star-Lord saved us all. We owe Star-Lord a debt of gratitude.
No, we don't. Because if you're not Doctor Strange and you're over there fighting and he do that dumb shit, you're gonna want to smoke his boots at the end of that fight.
Correct.
Right.
Why do you think Doctor Strange was the only one not pissed at him?
That's Doctor Strange.
Right. That's not the point.
Everybody.
Yeah, that's not the point, Dave.
Yeah.
Okay, so I can understand the 2019, right after the movie came out, and for that whole year before Endgame, I can understand somebody saying Star-Lord was dumb. Yeah, I get that.
Dumb.
But after you see that him hitting Thanos saved us all.
No, but Dave, they went into it with a plan. He deviated from the plan. Right. It doesn't matter.
Was that That plan they made, was that before or after Doctor Strange?
Matter of fact, it was Star-Lord who made the plan. They told Tony Stark his plan was trash.
That was Star-Lord's plan.
Was that before or after Doctor Strange saw all these futures? If it was after, then Doctor Strange said, yeah, he needs to hit Thanos in order for us to win.
Hey, wait, guys, y'all don't find that funny that Iron Man's plan was just to drop a bunch of shit on top of Thanos, and Star-Lord's plan was for everybody to attack at once? Yo, Star-Lord had the good plan, but he messed his own plan up, so that really makes him dumb.
Right.
I'm sorry, he saved us all. I'm sorry, he saved us all. I'm sorry,
Dave,
he saved us all.
Real quick, Dave. But it's a football terms for you. If a quarterback throws an interception, but then the guy the guy had the interception, he was running it back, but then he drops it and fumbles it, and then that team picks up and get a touchdown anyway. Is the quarterback still dumb throwing an interception? Or was he good?
No, but that's not what happened. That's not what happened.
That's what happened.
Because the head coach, the head coach, Doctor Strange. Hold up, listen. The head coach, Doctor Strange, saw what play was going to work. So if the head coach was able to see the future like Doctor Strange was, and saw that throwing that interception is the only way they win that game, aren't you telling that guy, make sure you throw the pick? Yes or no?
But Dr. Strange didn't tell Star-Lord that, though. He didn't tell him shit.
Right. No.
Hold on, Dave. You're venturing into if you're
Dr. Strange cannot tell anyone the plan because
exactly. This is ad hoc, right? So if this happens, then something else has to happen.
Right.
Like it.
Right.
We don't know that.
Correct.
What do you mean? He went to 14,605,000.
But he didn't tell them.
But you keep saying it, Dave. Who's the he?
Yeah,
right.
Okay, Doctor Strange.
Yes,
Doctor Strange sat there with the time stone, going back and forth through time, and every single thing that they did to try to win this fight against Thanos was a loser, except for this one.
Okay, all right. So I'll bite Dave. So hypothetically, if they get the glove off, what do you think they do with the gauntlet?
Nothing. None of them are powerful enough to use it.
No.
They can't use it against that. Thanos is literally the only one right there that was powerful enough to put that gauntlet on. And
correct, but Dave, you're wrong.
They didn't use it at the time. Why didn't they use it?
All right, now, mind you, we had Thor, Iron Man, and Captain America. All right, all fighting Thanos without stones. And what happened?
But did Doctor Strange look at
what happened, Mike? Tell me, Mike, what happened, Mike? What did Thanos do with them 3 Avengers?
But did Doctor Strange?
So, what do you think this Thanos would have done?
I'm gonna tell you why he missed the point.
Too, bro.
Did Doctor Strange look at my man and go like this? No, he only did that to Tony Stark. So Tony Stark was the only one that had the faith to mess something up.
He said why though? He said if I would have told you, you wouldn't have gone along with it. Tony would have tried to alter it. Tony would have tried to alter the plan.
Oh yeah,
okay,
my bad.
All right, Dave, this is gonna be off-topic conversation. We're gonna end this show. Right. We're at 3 hours of the show. Thank you guys for all watching. Everybody in the comments, we had a bunch of people today, so I'm not gonna name them all. Hey, thank you for showing up, Tony, on your vacation on time. Man, appreciate that.
Thanks, man.
As always,
and you right by me too.
Thanks for coming on, Chris. Appreciate it as well. Hey, it's been another Comic Cinema Crew. We're gonna figure out some other stuff to come back to bring you. I know it's no movies right now. We'll figure out another topic to have a nice argument. And Maine, as always, buddy. Appreciate you coming on, man. And
yes, sir.
For
Pleasure.
that, man. We'll see you guys soon, and we're out. In the broadcast.